Hello, welcome back to Ian and Kyle Play versus System Incorrectly.
Or
Nextchat.com.
yes, indeed so.
Actually, I had something to say about that.
Something to say about fixthechat.com?
Yeah, so I am once again behind on uploading stuff to YouTube, as I tend to get.
When
I'm
you are
busy.
crunching.
When I'm
Yep.
busy, yeah, that's the excuse. I swore I'd never do it again, but my excuse is I've been at work way more than a normal person should be at work for a few weeks now, so I'm just a little bit behind. This will be our fourth video that we're recording without me uploading anything to YouTube, so not too terrible. Not as bad as last time. It's still kind
What
of
was
bad.
last time? 6?
7. It was 7.
7 away.
7 I didn't upload. But
Yeah, there's a but here.
I did start reviewing the first video with the intent to upload it soon.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, we joke around about...
Welcome, Casey.
Hi, Casey. We joke around about the name of the stream. Fixthechat.com was a joke originally. We don't have a stream name. We say it's Ian and Kyle Play versus System, but it's whatever. It was unnamed stream, and this is what we're doing for a while, and we didn't really come up with any branding or anything. Right. And that's sort of our MO. We're kind of casual about what we're doing here. But I think it's possible that you have named the stream based on something you said in that video, and I don't even know if I noticed it at the time because I certainly didn't react.
Yes.
And it was one of the ones where I was really tired, so that might be why I didn't notice it at the time. But you said that our stream is called Ian and Kyle Mangle the English Language. And I can think of nothing more appropriate to name our stream other than Ian and Kyle Mangle the English Language. So that might be us going forward.
Yep, there's a part of me that wishes I could contest that.
Really? I don't think there is. No. That's a lie.
Small part. It is who he is. Yeah, see, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, good start. So, what else going on? Diablo 3 Necromancer started several weeks ago, but the new season started last week, and I finally got a chance to play a little bit. So I can talk about that briefly. I think I'm the only one among our small group, which is you and me and our 2 viewers.
Yep, our 2 incredibly loyal viewers.
Who actually play it regularly, but I have played it quite a bit this week. I did finish the story mode with the Necromancer and have started doing some grinding in the rifts and stuff like that. Some good changes, some bad changes, some interesting changes. I worry that the Necromancer does not have a lot of direct damage skills. Right. Which makes high-level play a lot trickier. Like, usually you do very well in the rifts by just killing things really, really, really fast before they can kill you or even do anything.
Do you have to rely upon the summons?
Well, I mean, it's Necromancer. It's D2 Necromancer, so a lot of the skill trees are based around those. So you got, your primary and your secondary skills, which every class has, which are direct damage skills for the most part. Yeah. But they usually do very little damage, and then your auxiliary skills are usually what
the meat
which do a lot of damage with. And for the Necromancer, it's things like you said, like summons, which can add up to a lot of damage, but it's not immediate damage. It's damage in the right circumstances after a little bit of time. They have things like curses, which are debuffs, which aren't really good at dealing direct damage, and they have a couple of direct damage skills with really long cooldowns. So I'm still working through the science of how to make that work. And I haven't seen all of their sets yet, so that might answer some of those questions. They have some neat stuff in there already, and even without having any, I have one very small partial set bonus, and I'm doing okay at about Torment 3.
Yeah. And
usually when I play at high levels, I get up to Torment. I'd say if I'm comfortable in Torment 8, that's about as far as I get, and usually I can push up to 10. So 8 to 10 is where I kind of live and then lose interest, because that's usually about when I complete the build and the set I want to make. Right. And then I don't feel compelled to go more than that.
Like, now what?
Yeah.
It's sort of, I just want to point out what a fascinating sort of observation that is, where we're so driven in games by progression that we do enter that now what mode. Like, we're very goal-driven creatures. It's the experience of playing Diablo remains valuable as long as there is something you do not yet have. When you have the thing you want, the experience of the game is less engaging.
Well, there's more you can do at that point. Diablo 3 is kind of unique in that regard, but there's a line I draw, and you can draw a line anywhere. Like, you can draw it well before where I actually play to, but it's just like, I feel like...
That's your line.
Getting a little further is just obsessive and uninteresting. Like, it's so repetitive, and, like... The things I can do after the point at which I usually play to are I can try to roll better versions of the same gear, which is not very interesting.
Yeah, that sounds rather drab.
I can work up the unique gems by running the rifts a bunch over and over and over, and I do that for a while, but that sort of loses some luster. And then there's some new features as of a couple seasons ago where you can trade really high-level gems for permanent boosts on your gear, but again, it's just like, I don't feel like doing that stuff over and over and over to get there, so that's usually when I run out of steam.
Yeah.
And it's a terrible season to play on the leaderboards as a Necromancer, so that's not going to amount to a whole lot for me. It's already full of Necromancers way higher level than I think I'll ever get.
Right. Not surprisingly, though. Right?
Not surprising, no. This is a good season for anybody who is interested in trying to do the leaderboards or do it as literally any other character.
As anything but a Necromancer, yeah. I actually didn't... I played through with 2 or 3 of the main classes. I did Demon Hunter. I think I finished as Sorcerer. That might have just been it.
You and I played very briefly on a second playthrough back before...
And I was Sorcerer,
there was post-game content, really.
Yeah.
There was just the multiple playthroughs. You were a sorcerer and I was a monk, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But we didn't get very far. We played through Act 1 and a very little bit of Act 2, and I think that's where we quit.
Yeah. I didn't do Barbarian. I didn't do... what am I forgetting? Was there Witch Doctor?
There's 7 classes now.
Right. I haven't done... I know I haven't done Paladin or Necromancer. I haven't done the expansion classes. So what are the other ones that I'm forgetting? Is Witch
Doctor's one? Yeah. You said Barbarian, Witch Doctor, Demon Hunter, Sorcerer, Monk.
All right, Monk you play. Yeah, that's right. So I guess I only played through twice.
Okay.
Played through twice.
Other things worth noting, Whimsydale, and I assume Whimsyshire, but I never go to Whimsyshire.
Nobody goes to Whimsyshire.
Ridiculously dialed up. It's so crazy. I got to Whimsydale this morning, and I'm still at the point where I'm like breaking down some of, and will soon transition to selling some of, and eventually transition to just ignoring legendary gear.
Right.
So I literally had to go back to town, I think 6 times in a single run. That's how much crap they give you now. Which is like, it hits those pleasure cortexes or whatever.
Right.
Like, oh, look at all this stuff, and it's like, I don't really need all this stuff. That's actually kind of annoying.
Yep. It's great until it overloads those sensors, and then you come down. It's come down hard.
And the other thing is, they reorganized some of the rifts, and I'm kind of sad for it. They took some of what used to be wide open areas, and they kind of more directed them in kind of narrow corridors, which I get because you want sort of a reliable rifting experience, especially if you're going for the leaderboards.
Right.
But it just means that there's less variety in the rifts, and that's kind of a sad change.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. Catch-22, sort of.
Yeah. I don't see. Is there anything else I need to talk about that? I mean, stuff that would be interesting to people who know the game very well, which is nobody here. So,
right.
So maybe I covered the major bases.
Yeah, some good bases.
Oh, the new zone. The new zone's kind of cool.
There's an actual new segment.
For the last...
Not a new act.
3 or 4... There's not a new act. For the last 3 or 4 seasons, they've been adding like a little area, like literally one area. Like you go through maybe 2 or 3... Like you remember how the game works. Like, Like you go through a door, and then there's a waypoint and a door, and a waypoint and a door, and so forth. Or a couple of doors.
Something along those lines.
So it's like one of those, like between 2 waypoints worth of content.
Yeah, interesting.
And they just add a little bit for each act. And I really like the style of the one they added for this one. It was very Latria-esque.
Oh, good lord.
And to the extent that the Diablo can be. Yeah, but that's sort of like the tone, if not the execution.
Oh, Latria.
So I like that.
So legendary.
So Chris isn't here yet, or else we'd talk about what's that game we're playing? Ashes.
Ashes. Yeah. Played some more Ashes. Yeah. We can save that. Chris may
we
show
can
up.
wait for Chris, I suppose.
Play a game.
That's Casey's cue to poke him, since he's probably playing Final Fantasy 14 or Heroes of the Storm or something, and he'll show up. Yeah. You got anything to talk about before we kick it off, other than that?
No, I don't know. Let's see. Anything exciting? I mean...
Oh, I know what I can say. Well, again, Chris is not here, so it's not super useful. I can say it to Casey. I think I said after everybody left last week, my game is likely to, but not certain to, be announced at Nintendo's Nintendo Direct in September. That is the prevailing theory. So tune into that, and maybe you'll know what I've worked on, and maybe not.
And maybe not. Boy, that's exciting. That's a vague request. Now, the request is straightforward. The results of the request could be vague. Sure. I don't know. I'm going somewhere with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me...
by the time I get this on YouTube, it might already be announced or out or something.
So Casey gets the lead. Yeah, I've been continuing to sort of poke at Horizon Zero Dawn. Without commenting on the game explicitly, I had kind of an odd experience where there's a guy who was super, super excited about it, but he's a coworker of mine who didn't really have the money to spend on a PlayStation, but that was the game that made him want to get a PlayStation. So he got a PlayStation just like 2 weeks ago and has been playing the game, and we were talking earlier today, and immediately became apparent that he has played, this is an S deck, significantly more than I have already, and that kind of made me sad. My game clock is at 40 hours, and his is at like 55. So in 2 weeks, he's been playing Horizon like it's a second job. And it is, in fact, a game that you can kind of do that in, which is both amazing and annoying at the same time.
Now we have to make a decision.
Oh, boy.
Because we're at the thing.
Could this deck pull it off? Depends on what you get. This deck has a shot, maybe. We could try it for variety's sake.
You don't sound like you want to.
Well... I mean, does anybody want to play against the Outsiders?
No.
Let's do it, and we won't have to do it again for at least another couple of matches.
All right.
Maybe this deck can pull it off. We'll see. There are things that might allow it. So...
Well, I should apologize to Casey. I have been tuning in. He and you probably don't know this. He and Chris have been streaming on Nostalgia Time, which is Chris's stream, our sister's stream.
Yeah. A
wholly owned subsidiary of FixTheChat.com, also known as Ian and Kyle
Mangle the English language.
Mm-hmm. Casey's been playing Orcs Must Die 2 with Chris on stream, and they're both... Oh, you did know that?
I didn't know that. I'm familiar with the game. Sorry. That was not a familiarity with the game.
But I have to apologize because I have been a little tuned in, but I've been working while it's been going on, so I haven't really been participating or paying a ton of attention, and I'm sorry for that, because I want to be supportive of our sister stream and our friends. And
do you guys have an audience besides Ian?
Yeah, there's a bunch of people. I also want to apologize because I can only chat on one of the two streams really efficiently, so I chat on Chris's stream. So I pretty much ignore Casey. Even though I'm watching and paying attention to what he's doing.
That is fair. Do they both stream simultaneously the same experience? Yeah.
You get each of their audio on each stream.
Right.
But you can only chat in one, and
right.
They have there's a website that Chris shared you can view both the streams at once as well.
Yeah, they I played a little bit of the first Orcs Must Die, and it was okay. And it struck me... I didn't get to play it co-op, though. It struck me as a game that really, really would be a lot more fun with another person to play with. I don't even remember. Was the first... Maybe the first one didn't even have the co-op. I don't remember. Maybe that was part of Orcs Must Die 2. But nonetheless, Orcs Must Die 2 looked pretty amusing. It's just... It looked amusing in the way that I think Fortnite looks kind of amusing, which... it's like, this would be a terrible, terrible, terrible game to play unless you're playing with people you know, and then it'll be a blast. And that's kind of what Fortnite looks like.
It has the problem that if you only pay 10 or 15% attention like I do, all you hear is like really annoying one-liners over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that would always, as a kid, drive my parents, my mom especially, nuts. Is like when you hear that, like for us, take Final, da 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 da. Right? I want to battle in Final Fantasy.
Copyright music on our stream, please.
Oh yeah. I was off key. It was fine.
You have 7 seconds. Did you know that?
7.
Play 7 seconds of copyrighted audio without.
I didn't know that.
Outer.
I'll accept. We'll act like you didn't look at it first.
Did I? I can roll it again.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. That was funny.
So I won that, huh? These guys go evens.
But yeah, so I feel like there was something else we were saying, and I don't remember what it was.
You were saying it's like Amnesia Fortnite playing with friends is better. Oh, and you were saying annoying audio because you're.
Oh yeah. That was just a little anecdote that like when you have those little sound clips or audio cues for the person that's in the other room or trying to read a book near you, it will drive them insane.
Sure.
But generally, we don't notice it because those things are associated with particular behaviors. That's hilarious. I do not have a 1-drop, which concerns me immensely, but such it is.
Oops. An edge of my life. Maybe I should start with a handicap.
Yeah, well, I should start with 50 life, so.
I'm going to recruit Captain Boomerang Jr. Whenever an outsider's character I control becomes stunned during the combat phase, I may return it to its owner's hand.
Jeez. They're already jerks. And then I take 2, I assume.
Yep, that's what's gonna happen.
Come on, deck. Don't suck. Don't do it. Don't you suck. It is your initiative.
Yeah. I will, of course, be recruiting Katana, whose power is pay 2 endurance, KO target character if it was stunned by Katana while she team attacked this turn. Use only during the combat phase.
I have Tar Baby. Tar Baby says whenever Tar Baby becomes stunned, you may remove target card and a KO pal from the game. KO target character that was stunned by Katana. Okay.
I will team attack Tar Baby.
Yeah. Deal the damage to Katana. 2. I will pass.
What does Tar Baby do? Did you even read her?
Yeah. Tar Baby is whenever Tar Baby becomes stunned, you may remove target card and KO pal from the game.
I'm sorry.
No worries.
I'm still a little tired.
I too am tired.
This deck is stupid.
It's true. I'm going to. How do I do this? I'm going to recruit Caliban. Caliban has discard a physical card. Characters you control can attack hidden characters this turn.
Well, I'm going to recruit Looker and Technocrat. Looker's power is exhausted outsiders defenders you control have reinforcement, and Technocrat's power is whenever Technocrat team attacks, draw a card.
Sorry, exhausted character defenders you control reinforcement. Right.
Chris has a 3D printer? That's not more important than watching us play Versus System.
It probably is. That probably is, yeah. How do I do this? What do I go for? You can bounce characters. It's expensive for you.
You can bounce characters?
With Boomerang, right? Or is this only while team attack?
Oh, I can bounce my characters.
Right. Right on. Though it can be expensive potentially. I am going to attack. I'm going to attack Looker with Tar Baby.
Okay. I'm going to take... Great.
2.
Going to take 2. Interesting.
I apologize, I did not put down a resource. That is a thing that I should have done. I will be putting down... Say ye. Oh, team attacky.
You're not gonna like it.
It's probably true.
I'm getting creative. I am a better player than I was the last time I have regularly played the Outsiders.
That's true.
So I'm going to start doing weird stuff with them to make them even more
That
effective.
is not what I want, but I'm ready.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to team attack Tar Baby with everyone. Now immediately, Technocrat lets me draw a card.
That's true. Which is really annoying.
The next thing I'm going to do is... I'm sorry. I have to do this first.
Sorry. Before you flip anything else, I will remind you that I am playing the Morlocks and they have an evasion.
It's fine.
Okay.
I think I had to play something first.
Sure, that's fine.
Let me get my head straight here. I had to play this first. Get it done. Ongoing, whenever 2 or more Outsiders characters control a team attack, you may exhaust target character with cost less than or equal to the number of attackers. So I will exhaust Caliban.
Let me think about that. Exhaust Caliban. That's ongoing?
Yep. It's stupid.
What,
I know
what did
it's
they
stupid.
do? What did they do? It doesn't make sense. Yeah, alright. Okay. I can't believe that's ongoing. Why could not one of their cards be just a normal versus card? I don't understand why that's ongoing.
Hey, look, I asked if you wanted to play this deck.
Yeah.
Resolved?
Sorry. Are you doing... I didn't know if you were doing anything else. That
not
is all.
immediately.
So I will attempt to deal the damage to Katana.
Right.
I also shall take 2.
I will reveal Markovia. Activate. Recovers target stunned Outsider's character control with a cost 3 or less. The team attack this turn. Use only during the recovery phase.
Good lord.
Yeah, Outsiders are dumb.
I don't understand
That's why they're a full tier above the rest of our cards.
It's craziness.
It's going to get worse.
Yeah. Well, the fact I didn't get a character that time because you have free exhaust. Why? Why ongoing? I was like, okay, I can deal with this. And then I'm like, and it's ongoing? What?
actually have to think about how to optimize my ridiculous crap here.
Yeah, it's funny. I think the last time or two that we played them, I didn't see the infinite exhaust card.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did.
Maybe it was all just a blur.
I do that. That gets me that and that. It's interesting.
I admit that I'm always surprised at some of the pieces that you get. I feel like I've never seen you play them and not get Technocrat, and he's so important. I want you to not get Technocrat once. So good. Because he completely solves the problem of me being able to deal with the flood of weenies.
Aggressive and risky, or slow and certain?
Well, I mean, I think they're both pretty certain, but take your pick.
No. I mean, comparatively.
Sure. Your discretion. Definitely,
Slow and certain.
Sure.
I'm going to recruit Batman, whose power is whenever Batman stuns a defender, the controller loses additional endurance equal to its cost.
That's legit. If you team attack, you can exhaust a character for free, which you would do.
Hey, Chris is here.
Hey,
Chris.
it's Chris. Welcome. I'm going to recruit Hump. As an initial request to recruit him, I must discard a physical card, which I will do. While you control exactly one non-stun character, he gets +2/+2. Batman was double stun, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to team attack Tar Baby with everyone.
Yeesh. All the peeps. So you get to exhaust someone immediately, which I assume
Yeah,
is
I'm going to
Hump.
exhaust Hump, draw a card. And then I'm going to play... Oh, I'll play Brooklyn HQ. That's helpful. Whenever one or more outsider characters you control stuns a character with greater cost, its controller loses an additional 2 endurance.
Okay, wait, whenever one or more characters stuns a character of greater cost. That is very strangely worded. So I guess in a team attack, as long as at least one of the characters is lower cost, it
Correct.
deals 2.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm then going to play Batman and the Outsiders. Aha! That's why that's not going to be crazy broken. I'm going to exhaust Caliban instead, if you don't mind.
I accept, but am alarmed.
Play only if you've played no other plot twists this turn. Return target non-defending character to its owner's hand if its cost is less than the number of Outsiders team attackers you control.
Oh my
I will choose Hump.
God. Non-defending. Oh my God. Return target non-defending character. Just from attacking. It doesn't require you to even get a successful stun or anything?
Nope.
Jeez.
Their theme is stuff based on number of team attackers.
Yep. Not based on anything that your opponent can control. God, so I can't stop that. I guess I deal the damage to Katana.
Okay. I'll take 2.
And I will take
You take
4.
6.
6? Oh, double stun. Boy, I had not foreseen free bounce.
You forget.
Well, it's because it doesn't compute, right? Like
it is nonsensical.
It's absolute nonsense. They were high when they made it. They were on really, really strong hallucinogens. Or their QA team was on a vacation. That's not ongoing, right?
That's not ongoing.
Okay.
And I have to play it first.
At what time do you have to play it?
When you have played no other plot twists this turn.
Right.
But it does not restrict plot twists. It just has to be first.
Boy, that's so costly. Hump is so expensive to recruit. I expected, like, stun based on... I forget... I think the thing that makes him also overpowered... Well, part of it in this situation is just the... that they trigger when they attack, so I can't do anything. Even evasion is worthless against them. Yeah. Hi, honey. Welcome home. Marrow gets... she has evasion. She has +1/+1 for each stunned character I control.
I'm going to recruit Faust, Halo, and Dick Grayson.
I don't really care what they do.
No.
You can read them for the stream, I guess.
Yeah, I should. Let's do this. Faust doesn't have range. Joker does. Yeah, okay. Halo gets +2 attack while in combat with a character with greater cost. Dick Grayson is a leader. Whenever Dick Grayson team attacks, ready an adjacent attacker with cost 2 or less. And Faust says free. Characters I control can team attack hidden characters this turn. Use only once per turn. That's interesting. I can only team attack them.
That is sort of novel. Right. So, I guess the right play is to attack Dick Grayson with Marrow? Could imagine worse plays.
Okay. I will take 9. 8. I will take 8.
Take that 8. Yep. Every now and then I need a reminder of why they're the most broken deck in existence. Even Richter couldn't beat them.
Yeah, I'm going to team attack Caliban with my visible characters and draw a card.
Caliban with visible characters. Sure.
And I will play another Batman and the Outsiders.
To pop Marrow. I will deal the damage to...
I will exhaust your 2-drop as well.
Yes, I will stun your 2-drop. The one with katana. And then I'm also stunned for 3. Not deal many damage. That'll show you.
5.
5. That'll show you. I will pass.
Batman will take 2 damage.
So I will take 4 stun damage and 4 breaking for 8. Yeah. I mean, I could evade with him to save a bunch of damage.
Doesn't save a lot of damage. I think it's the same damage.
Yeah, it's 8. It actually saves me 1 damage, but then I get to keep my character, so that's probably correct. Just silly. Yep, I guess I evade with him, and you just attack me straight, so I take 7. But I get to recover both my characters.
So I get to recover Katana because team attacked, and Dick Grayson is my natural recovery.
Right. We're going to do this. Turn 6. That was the last one was my initiative.
I'm going to play Recruiting Drive. To play, return a non-stun character you control to owner's hand. I will return Halo to my hand. Search your deck for up to 2 Outsiders cards with combined cost 3 or less. Reveal them and put them into your hand. I have to math this.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I can get 2. I can still recruit.
You probably can. You got the dudes.
Still good. Or I could just get. So return up to 2.
I'm gonna flip a card that lets me search as well, but I must discard a card.
I'll get Wild in Thunder.
On 6, so I'm gonna discard.
I'm gonna Wild in a while.
Yes, I'm gonna discard. And we'll search for a character card.
Do I need? No, I need to get Dr. Light. Because you have 2 characters. Can't have that. Dr. Light.
It might be that one, but I'm not sure. What else would be that one? It's that one. Just reveal that I did in fact put a character.
Okay, so I'll be recruiting Dr. Light, Halo, and that's it. I'll throw a Pequod on Faust.
Sure, what's Pequod do?
Halo. Pequod says, Outsiders characters I control have flight and range. Whenever a equipped character becomes stunned, you may return Pequod to owner's hand.
Equipped character becomes stunned, and everyone has flight and range. And it costs 0 to recruit.
Dr. Light says, whenever Camille hosts your team attacks, you may stun target non-defending character who costs less than the number of team attackers.
That one.
And I think Pico doesn't get range, right? Oh, yeah, it does.
Right.
It's stupid.
It's stupid. So, I'm going to recruit Marrow and Electric Eve. Marrow we remember from before. Electric Eve says stun. She has evasion, rather. She says whenever Electric Eve recovers, target opponent loses 1 endurance.
I will team attack Caliban.
Okay.
With Dr. Light, Dick Grayson, Technocrat, Faust, and Captain Boomerang Jr. I need one more.
Because the stun is less?
Yeah. Halo. And Halo.
So, what are the various things that you trigger?
So I will draw a card. I will stun a character, which is going to be Marrow. Right. I will exhaust a character, which is going to be
evade with Marrow.
Okay, which is going to be Tar Baby.
Take my damage as they go around. I'm going to exhaust Tar Baby.
And I think that's it.
Okay. And you're attacking
I can ready a character adjacent to Dick Grayson.
I will may have made a very odd mistake this turn. Did not occur to me initially. I will deal the damage to the big one. And I will not evade with Kelvin. So I will take 3. There's no, like, double stun. That's all Batman, right?
Correct.
You get 1 free recovery of a character that team attacked of cost 3 or less.
Yep. Everybody but Batman.
Sure wish Electric Eve had slightly higher defense. Oddly, that matters. Yeah. So Electric Eve is going to attack. Gets stunned on anyone, so it's probably Katana. I'll take 1.
Doing something?
Allow me a moment to contemplate. Though I don't believe I am doing anything immediately in response to that. Interesting. Bear with me, there's a thing that I do need to consider, and it's weird. Alright, I'll call it for now.
Batman's gonna attack you, 2-drop.
Yeah. Yep. I thought you might attack my 2-drop. Do have a Shrapnel Blast. Target Morlocks attacker or defender you control gets +4/+4 this attack if you control 3 or more stunned characters. Which I currently do.
Power up.
I was hoping you wouldn't have that, but I do have the ability to search for a Tar Baby. Which I will do. And power up myself.
Well, it'll work.
Sure hope I have another Tar Baby. That would be a very, 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 very sad thing if I do not. I might.
Really?
Come on.
Has there been other target? Okay, there you go.
It was like 3 from the end here, so that was making me nervous.
You're still going to take
damage. I do still take 4 damage, yeah.
More than 4. I do breakthrough.
We are tied.
+4/+4. Okay.
So I will take 4.
I will also take 4. Team attack you for 3 and draw a card.
Yep. Still in it.
Who's this? Katana. I think you are the victim. That's sad. Goodbye, Katana.
So Marrow does get to be a free recovery. Oh crap! I only got 2 dudes. I wish I had more dudes. Also wish I didn't have to search. So I guess I keep my bigger dudes. Oh, you get to ping you for 1. drawn exactly the right cards. No, you are not. You guys are not the right cards. Why were you not the right cards? That would have been so cool. Idea how close I am to winning this game, and it's really pissing me off because I don't think I have it.
I doubt it's very close.
It's very close. You have forgotten one trick of the Morlocks, and I'm kind of tempted to just concede because I don't think it can work, but then I can save it as a surprise. Oh, so close.
Maybe you forget the tricks of the outsiders.
They have to be a pretty good trick, though it's possible. That's true. You may have some additional trick that I have not recalled. But yeah, I think I can get you very, very close to dead, but not dead. Is there any way I could have made that work? If I hadn't spent that search, I think I would have had my chance, but I guess I'll do the uninteresting play because the interesting one will not succeed. So instead, I will recruit Callisto. Callisto is, as printed a 6-drop, I can return a character adjacent to her to my hand to put a 1/1 counter on target character that I control. Sorry, return an adjacent character.
Right. I've got Roy Harper and Wild. Roy Harper goes where Dick Grayson is. Wild goes here. Dick Grayson can go on the under, I suppose. So, Wild's power is... Wild's power is...
Pings.
Whenever Wild team attacks, target player loses 1 endurance for each attacker. And Roy Harper's power is exhaust a character adjacent to Roy Harper, target player loses 1 endurance. Use only during the combat phase.
Right. So, read me Dr. Light's power again.
Whenever Kimiyohoshi team attacks, you may stun target non-defending character with cost less than the number of team attackers.
Right. So I gotta take out Dr. Light or magical doomedness. You can exhaust one other character even if I do. I guess I'll just hit Dr. Light with Callisto.
I will ping you for 1.
I accept.
Are you going to strip my reinforcement?
He's not reinforced.
Yes, she is.
How?
According to Looker, exhausted outsiders defenders I control have reinforcement.
Okay, that's fair. It's not really worth it, I suppose I can for dramatic effect. So you're pinged for my stunned characters, and you have lost and cannot have reinforcement.
I will take 14, 10,
Actually,
13.
What the hell? I'll hit stunned Caliban. I take 3, but then you're pinged for 1. can't attack Caliban either. It's an easy target.
Sure.
So pardon me. To be correct about this, I evade with Caliban and take 3 damage. Then I play Morlock Justice to strip your reinforcement.
Okay, and I pinged for 1?
1, because I have 1 stun.
And then I take 13 from that attack.
Correct.
Which is... And she's not boosted or anything?
Correct.
And you don't want to pop Caliban or anything to boost her?
I could save that for in response. I don't think it's worth the extra damage.
9 damage.
Like, I'm not just evading with Caliban quite so cavalierly. The reason I'm willing to do that is because now it forces you to attack a larger target anyway.
Right.
So otherwise you just go for Caliban and do all your shit anyway.
Right. So... I will team attack Callisto with Wild.
That bear which pings.
Roy Harper.
That
Halo.
dude who's upside down.
I'm going to attack with everybody. Should I? Is that worthwhile? It's definitely lethal.
A few is risky.
I'm going to attack with everyone. Everyone. I'm going to exhaust your 5-drop. I'm gonna draw a card. That's what happens immediately, and you are pinged for 10.
Cool.
9.
Adjust my die.
9. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 9.
I am at -4.
We gonna resolve this?
I am contemplating if we resolve it. So I'm trying to figure out if that saves me health or not. So if you get the stun, you're going to deal me 12. Yeah, I guess it's mathematically sound. So I'm going to evade with both my characters to take... you know what? Does that actually save me? It might not.
I'll ping you again if you do.
Well, yeah. It's funny, but it's actually not a net game. It's close. Okay, I will stun Batman. Yeah, I take 12.
Actually... No, we're not gonna do that. I'm gonna put her in your hand. Oh, that's not the right one.
You drew another one.
I do have another Batman on the outside.
That's kind of weird. So you put Callisto in my
Yep.
hand. So you tell me again how exactly that triggers, because it's going to matter. Yeah. Because even though I've lost, I'll do a thing. And
play only if you've played no other plot twists this turn. Return target non-defending. Oh, it's non-defending. I can't do it.
So you can pop Marrow.
Yeah, there's no. I wanted to attack again.
Oh, right, totally.
That was what me being clever. Unnecessarily. I'll take 4.
Yep. And I'm at -16. And I must pass.
Let's see. I could have readied somebody. Technocrat. He'll attack by himself.
Fair
no, you got Marrow. I can't do anything.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why I popped Marrow, to get the extra.
Sure.
Or with Wild, I suppose. Is it whenever he's attacking?
You just do your...
No, it's team attack.
Yeah, you can do a big one. You get 3 more out of it.
Well, I only get 1 ready.
Sure, but you ready a character that has 3 attack, yeah.
Which is Wild, yeah.
Good Lord, they are.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I will say
this.
They're dumb. I'm not going to tell you how, but unless you still had something really, really dramatic that I hadn't seen, I actually had a shot. And what stopped it was your stupid Batman power-up, and that's really annoying. There will come a time when I will explain why, and it'll be like 5 years from now. Fun fact, there is one effect in the Morlock deck that I don't believe has ever been used. And it would have won me that game. And it was so cool, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to do something nobody has ever seen, and it will win me the game. I need
well,
that one...
Dog, as I often refer to you, apparently.
Yeah.
If you beat the Outsiders on stream, man, that's the dream, right?
Well, that's why you keep fighting them, is as brutal... I mean, you have to... If I tolerate playing against the Outsiders with the hope that one day I might beat them, you must tolerate my saltiness.
All you need is Mimic.
All you need is
money. Well, okay.
I had a way.
I don't think that's a perfectly fair deal because I don't particularly enjoy playing them.
Sure.
So I'm playing them for the sake of variety.
That's why I'm reining it in.
If I felt like I had to work at it more, and I have to work at it a little, but not a ton.
Well, there are a couple of things that if you don't get, it buys me time. And with my better S-Decks, and Morlocks is one of my better ones, if you don't get, you didn't get Dr. Light for a while, which was useful, but you got the Exhaust one right out of the gate, which is almost as useful. And against an evasion deck, it's actually identically useful. So
I didn't get Freddie Friedman, who's fun.
What's Friedman do?
Friedman's the guy who gets counters for team attackers.
Right, he's actually a late play, right?
He's a late play. He's a 6 cost.
Right,
and then there's a plot twist where I can just remove him from the attack, so he gets the counters, and then he's not part of the attack.
Yeah, yeah. Don't you get to ready him too?
I get to ready him, and I think the card also puts one more counter on him.
Okay, sure. No, I mean it's just to be very clear. I don't think the Morlocks have any advantage on the outsiders, but they have a chance. There's if you do not get.
The only folks who can beat the outsider. I think the Morlocks were one of the 2 decks that beat them.
I think so.
They're definitely your strongest. There might be short of the outsiders. They're probably the strongest deck. If you don't consider weird, goofy stuff like Anti-Monitor.
Sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, an Anti-Monitor is powerful for such a different reason. It's very weird. Like, Anti-Monitor is very powerful because it does this incredibly unique outside-the-box crazy thing. Outsiders is powerful because it does everything. And there are some things. There are some cards that baffle me more than others. Like, the free recovery every turn is pretty baffling. And the free exhaust every turn is baffling. At least Dr. Light, I can attack him and remove that from the equation.
Yeah, I can explain. I mean, it's stupid, and they're not well-balanced.
Sure.
But I can explain the...
old rules is part of it.
That's true. That helps a lot.
Yeah.
The thought process behind... the design, which is they sat down in a room and they said, okay, we're going to make this affiliation and it's going to be themed around team attacks and abilities that trigger based off of the number of team attackers.
Right.
Okay, so Team A, you go off and you design all those abilities.
Right.
Team B, we really need to come up with some ways to sort of mitigate playing with a weenie deck to make this work, so you work on that. And Team B came back and they're like, we have all this crazy powers that basically means nothing if you're playing a weenie. Like, we have like +7 defense, and when you're attacking
it's
up the
like
chain.
You're not even playing a weenie deck.
And I don't know why they okayed that stuff.
Yep. Well, and
Team cover your team attackers for free.
Well, the team that balanced the outsiders came back. The other team, it turns out, was laid off. I want to be really clear. Like, normally I would share the cool, interesting thing
that
I had, but literally in all the years we have been playing, and you've seen the Morlocks a fair amount.
Well, I don't see your S-Decks a lot. I don't see Morlocks a lot. I mean,
they don't see a ton of because they're a very strange.
We're approaching stream 40. Honestly, we're in our mid 30s.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Whoa.
We're in our mid 30s. Yeah, in more ways than one.
Yep.
And
all the ways, really.
Yeah. We're approaching stream 40, and I think Morlocks have been on stream 3 times. I think that was their 3rd, so not a lot.
Yeah, I guess that's
1 in 10. I guess that's about right for your S-Decks.
But again, like to have a mechanic that I don't think you have ever seen,
which is bizarre because we've been playing for 25, 30, years. 100.
I will say this: you've probably seen it. You've never seen it done because there's like it does this thing, and then you read the card, and it also does this other thing that will never matter ever, except in that particular instance where if I hadn't had to power up, I would have had you.
Yeah. So is our audience still here? You want to talk ashes?
We can talk some ashes. Will the audience be here to talk the ashes?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
That's why I'm asking. Now what?
Now I'm going to get some water.
Okay.
And we'll give them a second to respond because we're 30 seconds delayed.
Yep.
Throw stuff on.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. That's what it's there for. To be thrown on the floor. My stuff, your stuff, floor stuff, everywhere stuff. Man, you think they get all fired up over? They probably just couldn't look. They had to mute it and turn away when outsiders.
Because the outsiders, could be, or maybe Chris is assembling his printer.
I wouldn't blame him. Oh, we have been encouraged. Oh joy. I don't know if there's necessarily a ton to talk about. We did have our fastest game. We got one to just over 90 minutes, we believe. which
it's
is a new
still
record.
a puzzle, and I've talked to you about this a little bit. That is the thing. That might be the largest driving factor in my desire to play this game, is to come to understand why the difference between our playtimes and your playtimes are so drastic.
That is pretty drastic.
And I can't figure it out. And like, Kyle just mentioned, we're getting faster.
Yeah. So we're making progress.
It's not fast, and it still does not seem like it's ever going to be that fast.
Yeah, I think we've agreed that, like, the thing that seems possible, at least to me, I do feel like we can get it to about an hour. I feel like that's at least possible. Especially when we have, like, card familiarity and we recognize more things more immediately.
I've played 5 games, Chris.
That's true.
No, and that's some of it. Totally. Yeah. It's going to get faster still.
Yeah.
There's room to grow, but it doesn't seem like a...
honestly, I kind of want to solve that puzzle too. Like, that is a driving factor because it's definitely yeah.
Well, how else do you win?
Yeah, so it's worth noting that we do still enjoy it enough.
We had a very close game last time.
Yeah, and actually, it was an exciting game for me because I had one turn that was exceptionally frustrating, and then the following turn was kind of a hangover turn. I forget exactly what went down. It was just like, I felt like I couldn't do anything. I remember, it was just like, every card in my hand and also every card in play used a dice I didn't roll. It's just like I missed that die roll.
Time to meditate.
And then I did, but the problem also was you were playing one of the decks that had the ability to negate what I meditate for, so I would have had to over-meditate, or you could just remove it. And it was just like, and maybe that was the right decision. Maybe I just meditate my whole...
It wasn't a deck, was it? It was a die.
It was a die.
Right.
Mana power, yeah. But it was immediately like, well, I have to do everything. I literally would have to, like, ditch 5 cards to have a chance at using all my stuff. So it was a frustrating turn nonetheless. And again, maybe there was a misplay. But then, I started to see a path to victory. And I've only played 3 games now to completion. We've seen all 6 decks in our 3 plays, and we sort of made it a point to do so. And by the end of that game, I'm like, okay, I see a way that maybe I could win, and I don't think I'm going to, but I see a way I could do it. So in a certain circumstance, I will achieve it. And it ended up being a turn or two, like just a single turn or two, not a full hand, but I forget their exact terms. They have, like, I don't know what they call the thing you do and then the thing I do. If that's a subset of the turn.
That's
or
a
phases.
turn.
That's a turn. So what's the whole thing called?
I don't remember.
Okay. Well, anyway, so then a turn. It was like 1 or 2, like on the very next turn I might have been able to have you. So that brought me some joy because there was definitely a light at the end of the tunnel for me. So nonetheless, that made it a little more interesting. We hit 90 minutes, which is progress. 94 or 95 minutes. We've chipped in a little bit. We're going to try some experiments with the game. Did you actually make the purchase?
Yeah. So we bought 3 copies. Well, I have a copy. We bought 2 additional copies.
I need to give you money for that, probably.
Probably.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And Chris thinks we're nuts for doing this, but we felt compelled, or at least I felt compelled, and I was able to convince Kyle, however he felt, to keep sort of the base set intact in terms of the starter decks and whatnot, for a couple of reasons. One, because it's a good
onboarding.
It's a good. Well, that's the other reason.
Oh, sure.
It's a good.
Sorry, spoilers.
It's a good baseline.
Yeah.
For us to see if we start playing around with our decks, whether we're making them better or worse by comparing them to the starter decks.
All in an attempt to learn, to understand, really, in some ways.
Yeah, and the other thing is, if in the unlikely event that we'll ever teach the game to somebody, it will be helpful to have those decks constructed.
Totally. Yeah, I think so. And,
we also bought some of the expansions, but I don't even know if we're going to dip into those right away.
Yeah,
we did that for the sake of I had to get over a certain dollar amount for free shipping.
Now, I did mention there was sort of not really... It's very tough to always say that something's not a spoiler because we all have different decisions, but I looked up a single thing about it because there's one curiosity I had. So on stream, I'll ask the question again. If it's a thing that's not really a spoiler, but it would be something that relates to this.
I don't care. Whatever.
Okay. That is to say you don't care if I tell you?
No.
That's good because I really itching to tell you. You had wondered what a deck would be like with just one die type, and all of the expansions are one dice.
I know. I wasn't
okay, so there you go. You knew that. I didn't know that until I looked it up, and then I knew it.
Which means perhaps the way we divvy up those decks, because we bought 4, and we have decided, Kyle and I, to keep our if we continue to play each other, which is likely, to keep our play interesting, we're going to
start
split
dividing
the
the
expansions
cards,
so that we have some cards that are unique to us, or exclusive to us.
Yep. And I haven't.
Well, I just bought them. They haven't even arrived yet, and we don't know. It might be a year before we open them.
Yeah.
Snake lady.
Snack
lady.
I'm gonna assume that Casey's been drinking. No, that's yeah. We'll see. I mean, and I actually do agree. Just to chime in, that I think it's my inclination to steer clear of the expansions, at least for a few more rounds.
Yeah, totally.
And then we can introduce it.
So we're in the period where I think it's useful to us to play with the starter deck still.
Right.
We're transitioning to the period where I think we should dally a little bit with deck construction, but maybe even not yet. Like maybe that's too soon for that.
Yeah.
And then I feel like we'll be in that period for a while before we want to add the expansions.
I think that's probable. We'll see how we can.
And we don't get to play a whole lot. We're not going to play this week, likely because we're. I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the stream. We're going to go see Hamilton on Sunday. We got tickets. That'll be exciting.
I think it'll be interesting. How long's the show?
I don't know. 3 hours usually is a musical, something like that.
Yeah. 2 to 3.
So we'll not likely play again for another 2 weeks, or at the soonest.
Seems probable. It's a correct estimation.
And that all depends on my availability, because again, I'm working a whole bunch.
You're coming up on the wire, yeah.
It's kind of a roll of the dice whether I'm available at any moment.
Yup. So having sort of rambled about that for a bit, shall we play another round of Versus?
Sure. Let me think if there's anything else I wanted to say. I did want to say, Casey, you are probably correct that I do overthink things, and I actually asked. We were wondering after last week's stream, and I asked Chris directly this. We were actually having trouble telling if you guys were genuinely being salty about us taking so long, or if it was just like friendly ribbing, which doesn't come across very well in the text chat on Twitch. And Chris set us straight. I asked him directly about that, but a little bit of the conversation we had during that time frame, and I think he was with you and playing with you at the moment, so he may have shared it all. But one of the observations I made is the combat structure of Ashes, where you have to choose whether a creature is an attacker or a defender, is a lot more similar to Magic than it is to Versus System. And I don't actually have a background, not really, in collectible card games. Versus System was the first collectible card game I really got into to any significant degree. And its combat system is very different in that, I pick an attacker, and that's the attacker, and I pick a defender, and that's the defender, and with very few exceptions, that doesn't change, so you have a lot of control, and there's not a lot of thought that goes into that step. And one of the things I struggle to feel comfortable doing in Ashes, which may be just a lack of experience in that type of game, i.e. from Magic, is deciding when it's safe to attack and when I need to keep defenders. So that's something I spend a lot of thoughts on, which may slow the game down quite significantly.
That's certainly a possibility. Obviously there's two parts to it, which is, familiarity with the core mechanics to the extent that we can perform them more efficiently. And then the second thing is recognizing choices that we're perceiving to be complex when really maybe they're not.
Right.
And it is hard to gauge, because I definitely feel like there's a lot of permutations in any given action. And in a game like Magic, and Versus System, it is uncommon that there are the number of known contributing factors. Like, the more perfect you make the knowledge in a game, the actual more you have to parse. So, when you think about a game like Versus, we each have usually 2 to 3 characters, and maybe, with exceptions, 2 to 3 locations on the board between the two of us. Your decks tend to be, I think, a little more location plot twist heavy. There's some exceptions. Checkmate tends to be very location heavy, for example. But generally speaking, that means there's 9 different things you're looking at. 9 different entities with text. And with Ashes, you have the dice powers to consider, which are 4 in every game, so that's 4 things that are on the board. The character's power to consider, which means we're up to 10 things, or actually 12 things on the board. Wait a minute. Did I just
what
6
the
things?
heck
Well,
kind of
6
math
things
are
on the board. It's fine.
First of all, there's
6 things on the board, because we've got dice power, right? 2 and 2. Hero
okay,
1
so
and 1.
assuming a dual color deck on both sides of the board.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. Which is
just trying to follow.
so far a safe assumption. But yeah, so that we're up to 6. And then that's before we played. So we start the game with 6. Then you have 3 ready spells apiece, typically by mid-game. Sometimes even early game, because you pick your starting game.
Way more than 3, I would say.
Deck variable. Some of the ones I've played have only had 3. You played one of the ones that had like 5 ready spells, but that's very different than some of the decks I was playing. But nonetheless, so let's even pick a conservative number. Let's say 3. So that's 3 on my side and 3 on your side. That's 6 more. So now we're up to 12. Then we have each 3 creatures, which is another 6. We're up to 18. Then you have any potential enchantments or things of that nature, which are less common, but basically you get up to roughly 20 things, which is
and the cards in your hand.
Right. Now, the cards in your hand add complexity, but not quite the same way, because when you actually consider cards in hand, that's imperfect knowledge. So I'm like, okay, I know you have cards, but I don't know what they are.
You have to consider is your own cards and when to play.
That's true. You have to consider your own cards. Yeah. That's very fair. So, yeah, but you get up to like 20, 25 permutations, and in a game like Versus, yeah. And not to mention the tokens and there's tons of tokens everywhere, and the exhaust things are actually more intricate, because, like, you can choose not to deal your damage back and not exhaust. So that's a branch permutation on that. So you have to view this board state through quite literally, and also, oh yeah, and this is another good one, when you attack, to your point, when an attack's agency is divided between the attacker and defender, which it is. I say, I'm attacking this, and then you're like, well, now I can do a bunch of stuff with the permutations on the board. It's literally orders of magnitude more intricate than Versus, by sheer proxy of number of things that you need to consider, like by a factor. Because all those things then are permutations you need to consider in any given play. So, it's definitely like, even simple decisions, like to the idea of, if unit guard isn't on the board, right, units blocks Phoenix Born blocks units don't block units. So really in any given attack, there's usually only, well, against the Phoenix Born, there's more permutations, but fewer against the units. But again, it's just like, the permutation count, I think, is literally, again, I'm going to say order of magnitude in the most mathematical sense, like add a 0. It's if it's 10 in Versus system that you have to parse, it's 100 in Ashes, without question, because of all those permutations. And then, of course, none of that accounts for the fact that it's a back and forth turn, so you actually have to consider it and also try to see moves ahead. So it's certainly possible that, you start getting used to those permutations and they become second nature. Just as you would get used to the items in Dota eventually, and you just know what builds to make. But there's definitely a huge knowledge gap and a learning curve to soaking in that magnitude of permutations.
Well, something I was expressing to Kyle is that sort of thinking, and like Casey is outlining some simple rules for how to make those decisions, but it's what I stress over in that game, and in New Versus System has a similar
it does have some of that, yeah.
Thought process, less complex, but
yeah, it's not as bad, but it's
there. You have to maintain just the choosing when to have attackers and when to have defenders. It does not come natural to me, and I feel very stressed as to when I should make those decisions. And it's a little bit frustrating to me, and I know you guys, Chris especially, has to give me shit for saying this on the stream. But one of the frustrations I have with Magic, and by proxy I also have with Ashes, is that in Versus System, the correct choice 90% of the time is to attack something, or at least in the way we play it. Right. In Magic and in Ashes, often the correct choice is not to act, and I find that much less fun.
Right.
So I'm sort of trying to figure out how to balance that side of the equation too. Like doing things is fun. Waiting is not fun. And Kyle says what I'm supposed to enjoy is building up to a big explosion, and maybe that's true, but it's something that doesn't resonate with me quite yet.
I just say lemon seed. Not advised.
Whatever. The other thing I wanted to mention is let me read Casey's. Casey's really going to town here.
So I'm merely eating this
Yep.
pork rice heap.
The other thing I wanted to mention is Kyle made an interesting observation, and I don't know how I completely missed this, but it is unique. Ashes is unique to any collectible card game I've played, and I have played a handful, not many, mostly Versus again, in that there's no resource progression. And that's fascinating. And it didn't occur to me until Kyle said that, which was after my 5th game. It's like, oh yeah, there is no resource, or very minimal resource progression.
Right. You could make the case that it's the ready spells, or a resource escalation, but it's not.
It's certainly a compressed, what do you call that, curve.
Right.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's very different. It's very different, and I do find that interesting. I actually don't consider that a pro or a con, but I suppose I could view it as a pro purely by virtue of it being distinct.
Well, something in there is working. Like, I don't dislike the game at all, and it has a lot of things that I usually find frustrating. So, I will say to that it's probably a testament to the design of the game, and we're going to keep playing it. Anyway, I think that
we just dumped a bunch of money on it, so we're definitely not hating.
Thoughts on it.
Yep.
Anyway, what deck is this?
This deck that you have pointed to. This deck is a double A.
Yay! I like double A's.
Indeed. Who doesn't like double A's?
We are almost through. That's a dumb thing to say. So we're almost through a full rotation of my double A's, but being excited about almost doing something is not very interesting.
Well, unless you're playing Ashes and you're waiting for your next turn and you almost time to do it.
I don't think it would help. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean, the challenge is you would see things we simply wouldn't see. So it'd be like, you could make the case of it for, like, immersion learning.
But to that end, here's my recommendation. Chris, move back to California. Come work with us. Casey, you do that too, and we'll all play together.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And then we'll learn how to play Ashes. That's the deal.
That'd be good times. That'd be good times. Everybody just move to the Bay Area, pay our...
exorbitant.
I was going to say discount rates, but that would have been a lie. But for the sake of comedy...
That's true. We could do that, except our stream would take 5 hours.
Give or take. Give or take an hour. That is true. You do save the money in Texas. Do save the money.
I thought you were not sure about where you were working at the moment, Chris.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Well, pros and cons to every gig, that's for sure. Yeah, so you get to roll the die.
Oh, I do.
You can even make a declaration prior to the roll.
Outer.
Outer it is.
For the outsiders, they lost.
They did. I'm going to go odds.
Well, I mean, we know how to play. I wouldn't like if you wanted to spend your time doing that as a stream, I would tune in, but I wouldn't tune in for the sake of learning Ashes. I would tune in for the sake of hanging out with you guys, right? And I think I ought to keep this.
That works.
But I don't feel like that's something that we need to do necessarily.
Right. I win odds because I was the winner. I do not have a winner.
I've got a Daxamites.
Last.
Whenever a character an opponent controls recovers, gain 2 endurance.
Yeah, I'm a fucking character.
You like the company, hate the engine, Texas is up and down. Alright, yeah, that's reasonable. You're working in Unreal, right? Hit you for one.
Oh, I'll take that damage. I'll take it.
Man, this draw getting weird.
I promise mine will be surprising. I'm going to draw some cards out. Like this card here.
We might actually have to work in Unity soon. That would be unpleasant. We'll see how that goes. I don't think that's a secret. I will be recruiting Mr. Venge, Computo, the other way. Computo, Mr. Venge, who is power. His power, he has a power. The power is activate. Target opponent recovers a stunned character he controls. If you control another future foe's character, that player loses endurance equal to the cost of the character he recovered. Use this power only once a turn.
Well, I'm going to recruit the Retrieval Protocol. OMAC Robot. I may discard a character or location card to give them +1/+1 this turn. Or pardon me. Characters you control with the identity OMAC Robot get +1/+1 this turn. Use only once per turn.
Okay. I will pass.
I have a robot. The robot's going to attack you.
I don't recognize that card.
You don't recognize the trusty OMAC Robot?
No. I mean, I know who the OMAC robots are.
I'm attacking you.
I don't remember you playing that card before. I will take 3. 2. I will take 2.
I'll take 2.
That's it. I will pass.
I don't have to. It's just my life dice.
You can if you want.
Nope, not going to do it. You showed me. You showed me. Now it's my initiative. I am going to recruit the Neutralization Protocol, OMAC Robot.
Is this a new deck?
It's fine. I may stun another character I control to gain a resource point. I may only spend this resource point to recruit a character card with the identity OMAC Robot. I may use this power only once per turn and only during the recruit step. I'm not going to use it, however. It's fine. Don't sweat it. It's just an OMAC Robot.
I'm going to recruit Tharok.
He's big.
Whenever Tharok stuns a character an opponent controls, recover that character. This power triggers only once per turn.
That's a thing you can do.
It is a thing I have done.
I'm going to have my Neutralization Protocol attack your Dexites for 4.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. I will take 4.
That is true. Take 4.
There's a couple of ways I can do this.
They're all terrible. Clearly passing is the right choice.
I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Legion of the Damned.
I don't like where this is going.
Characters I control have flight this turn. Characters my opponent control get -1 defense while defending against future foes' characters this turn. And an additional -1 defense while defending against a future foe's character with greater cost this turn.
Oh my.
And then Tharok is going to attack your 2-drop.
That's rude.
For 6. And you are -2 defense.
That's a lot of minus defense. Well, that is going to work. All right.
I'm going to play Need for Speed. Play Need for Speed only during your first attack this turn. Whenever target attacker causes breakthrough this attack, I will choose Tharok. Ready that character, and it cannot cause breakthrough this turn.
Right. Oh, that's a good couple of cards you have there. How novel. Let me contemplate this. You're going to deal a lot of damage with Tharok. That is something else. Jeez. You had a really strong opening draw for that combo. Okay.
Well, usually I don't like to use it this early.
Yeah.
That's the downside.
Yeah.
That's like a turn 4 or 5 play.
Sure. Okay, so you deal 8 on your first attack, but but he can't deal breakthrough.
Once the trigger is dealing breakthrough, so the first breakthrough happens and he readies, and then he can't deal breakthrough.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so I take 8. Thusly, I take 8. That does work. I must pass.
Tharok is going to attack your OMAC robots, the 3-drop.
OMAC robots, the 3-drop. Right. I'm going to think about that for a second. Man, 8 damage? That's so wooed. So wooed. Yeah. I'm going to flip Secret Checkmate HQ. Flip only if you control a defender. Checkmate characters you control get +2 attack. At the start of the combat phase, replace this location.
Huh. That's a cool location.
It's cool, isn't it?
This is a new deck.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It'll work. I will take 3.
Still, I have -1 defense. Is that correct?
Yes, but I do not deal breakthrough.
Right. So I take 3 and do not recover. So in taking that 3, I will be at 38. As a reminder, all my characters are +2 attack.
Right.
Looking at them cards. I don't like it.
That would be so stupid. Do I need to do that? That's the dumbest thing. I can't do that.
It's too dumb. Too dumb to put on stream. We're supposed to exude respect and dignity. Not dumb.
It's not even the card I thought it was. So.
It would have been even dumber. That's awesome.
Man.
You can just ping me for 3.
I can.
Okay.
You sure I'm nervous about your characters if you have a bunch of
Fine.
characters named OMAC Robot.
Fine. Wouldn't concern yourself with such trivial things.
What does that get me? I get to keep Computo, which is more P. Maybe that's right. Alright, I recover your character.
3. It's a lot of damage for sure.
That's the card I thought it was. That was your initiative. That's reassuring.
Yeah, that's true.
I will be recruiting Mono. Whenever Mono stuns a defender, the character an opponent controls, recover that character. This power triggers only once per turn.
Yeah. So, I'm going to put down for a research.
You should have replaced your location.
That happens at the start of the combat phase.
Oh, I thought it...
So, haha.
So, ha.
This novel. So I'm going to put in my research row and flip the Checkmate Armory, which says equipped characters I control get +1 attack. It also says activate, pay 1 resource point. Search your deck for an equipment card, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle your deck. Use only if you control a Checkmate character. I'm going to search for a laser watch.
So, if you made a new deck, why did you say it was a AA?
I think it's a AA. We'll see.
Alright.
I thought about it for a while. It might not be. It might be an A. But it made sense to put it in this category based on some of the cards in here. So we'll find out. Besides, it was a better surprise this way.
Did you dismantle your Checkmate deck?
I did not.
So this is an additional Checkmate deck.
I always wanted to see if I could make this deck alongside the other one. And it was...
I don't believe I can recover my own characters with Mr. Venge. Nope. Target opponent. That would be ridiculous.
So that did cost me a resource point, and I had to activate the location. Didn't do it. Bear with me one moment. I shuffled. I'm going to search for a character. So when I flip this, I may discard a character card, which I will do momentarily, but then I search for something. I'll search for an OMAC robot. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Everything is fine.
You're gonna KO to
Totally fine.
To make the watch free? Or wait, to recruit him, but the watch is not free, so the watch is useless? I'm so confused.
It's fine.
I'll let you do it.
So
I'll
I
see
do
what's
have
going on
to
here.
discard a card, and I will discard...
There's some zaniness.
I have a really odd choice about what to discard. Everything is a little bit of a spoiler. Well, I'll discard an OMAC robot. We'll go with that.
What? There are OMAC robots in this
fine.
deck?
Don't sweat it. So to be clear, I do have at the moment only 3 resource points.
Right.
However, I can stun another character I control with his power to gain a resource point, which I can only spend on an OMAC robot. So I do, of course, take 2 damage for that.
Okay.
And then I can recruit a laser watch, which gives a character I control +2 attack
0 cost.
and range. Also, when it comes into play on a checkmate character, I may exhaust a location I control if I do draw a card. What the hell was this?
Probably your
Oh,
hand.
that's the thing I just stunned.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm doing a lot and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So the question is, where do I put the laser watch? And that is actually
Bend over, I'll show you.
Whoa! So I should read the Elimination Protocol first. Elimination Protocol, which is an OMAC robot, and by the way, they're all Army, which I had not specified. It says KO a character you control. To recover, target stunned character you control with the identity OMAC robot. I can only do that once per turn. It also has a boost 2, which I'm not currently paying. I can read it if you like, since it's a new card, which says when it comes into play, I can search my deck for a card of cost 4 or less with the identity OMAC robot, put it in my front row, and shovel my deck. And I think I will put the laser watch on... That's interesting. It's a tough choice. That's a tough choice. If I put it on him, he can get Tharok. If I put it on him, he can get anybody. That's pretty cool. But the problem is, in both cases, there's a scenario where you can get a free hit. That's kind of peeving. So I think I put it on... this guy? That's weird. Put on him and just try to deal you extra damage. You're going to deal me more damage back. That's a real issue here. You don't have flight at the moment. You could have another flight plot twist, though. We'll try it like this, see what happens. So as a reminder, all of my equipped characters are +1 attack. Also, the laser watch is +1, +2 attack. +1 attack to all my equipped characters comes from this. Turns out both checkmate decks are a little fiddly. I am done doing all my shenanigans. Is that true? No, you have initiative. It's going here. Sorry. That's way better. Transferable. Oh, okay. It's concealed optional, which is weird, but cool. Hidden laser watch. Now, we enter the combat phase.
I think I attack your 4-drop with mono.
That's a thing. That's a thing. Well, I'm going to flip up target acquired. Exhaust any number of locations you control. We'll exhaust 1. Target checkmate, attacker, or defender you control gets +2 attack this attack, and an additional +1 this attack for each location you exhausted. So I have 10 attack.
accept.
I will take 1 breakthrough and 4.
Oh, we got another recover.
I am recovered, so I take 9 total. 24. Then I am going to attack your 3-drop for 7.
7?
And +2 from the laser watch, +1 for being equipped.
Oh, shit, +1 for being equipped. Man, that's super good.
Laser watch.
I think that's gonna work.
I will also be stunned.
Yeah, that's gonna work.
I am stunned. But I do recover.
And I take 4.
It's interesting. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep pace with big stats, so to speak. It'll be interesting to see.
I'm gonna play Fatal 500, which I may only do if a character caused breakthrough while under my control this turn. Search deck for a future foe's character, or reveal it, and put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. I'm going to go to Validus.
Balance. It's interesting. That is interesting.
I will be losing Theric, and I will recover Mono.
Righto. Do I keep this guy? Maybe. I do. I probably do. Interesting.
You can KO him for something, right?
I can stun him for something.
Oh, there's a card that would have been a lot useful not that long ago. But not now.
This card is interesting. So it is going to be my initiative. Okay. How do I do this?
I don't know if 10 life advantage is enough.
It's going to be interesting. I think I have to do it the straightforward way, which is acceptable. On turn 5? Could be do this. Probably what I do. Oh, these are ready. I think. Boy, do I do that again? It's getting a little risky. I do have initiative. Yeah, I think we do it again. I am going to stun my character so I can recruit OMAC robot, but also first spend a resource point to search for a laser watch. Because laser watches. Then, after this shuffle, of which I am shuffling, I'm going to recruit a 5-cost OMAC because I have an extra resource point. That's cool.
I would like it very much if you took the damage for stunning your character.
Oh, that's fair. I would like it. I'll get those in a moment. Perhaps while you're recruiting. The laser watch is going to go on this guy. Now I will get them because I need to draw a card because I'm going to exhaust that location. Nope, no. Go under the chair. That's all of them. So I draw a card.
Well, unsurprisingly, I will be recruiting Validus.
Yeah, it's a reasonable option.
Whenever Validus stuns a character an opponent controls, recover that character. This power triggers only once per turn.
I don't like that. It's annoying. It's annoying. Right. It's a good set of the things you did. So both of them are +3 attack. I should read him. I'm going to read him.
Sure.
He has 2 powers. He has Exhaust a non-army character you control to KO target stunned character. I don't have any non-army characters. He also has a boost too, which I didn't pay, but when Annihilation Protocol comes into play, I may distribute 5 1/1 counters among my characters, as long as they have the identity OMAC robot. So for this turn, he is merely a 10-8. So, sure wish I had a lot more life than I have.
Well, you spent 6 of it.
It's true. 4 of it. 4 of it. And you're at 33. I guess the Illumination Protocol is going to attack Validus for 10.
Review. I suspect that's going to just work.
It's fair.
It seems that way. We are stunned.
Yeah.
You will deal me no breakthrough.
That's true.
Take 5.
Yeah, Validus still has that.
Yeah.
So I take 4. Do you do your recovery with Venge now?
It seems like maybe I oughta. Let me think about that.
Either way, I will be recovered, so I won't bother flipping back down. You can decide if you think you will get the Annihilation Protocol.
I'm sure I can, but it would cost me 7 life. What would you do? Attack me for 7? Or you might just KO Validus.
As a reminder, I do not have a non-army character.
I thought it was a non-army character, so that power does not...
I would need a non-army character on the board to fire his power.
Interesting. I have not seen any, correct?
That is true.
Let me run some math. That's pretty tight. I guess I probably oughtn't do it then. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I will not recover him. Instead,
Okay.
I will play 5 against 1.
Oh my.
As an additional cost to play 5 against 1, discard a future foe's character card. Target character gets -3 defense while defending this turn and cannot reinforce other characters this turn. I will choose the 5-drop and then I will attack him with mono.
That is a thing. Nothing else changes. We'll get the counter stun. Give me a point to... -2 defense? Sorry?
-3.
-3, goodness. That's not unreasonable for a character discard.
Actually, let me see.
You're contemplating an additional thing.
I do. Ain't doing it.
So if nothing else happens, I will take 3 breakthrough, 5 for the stun, and another 5 from Venge, which will put me at 3. That's not a lot. Not a lot.
I don't think you're playing Shadow Pact right. Recruited too many robots.
Too many robots. I played them wrong. Yeah. I think that's gonna work.
I will also be stunned. I will take 4.
True.
I will recover.
You recover, of course. I
Affected.
am at, what did I say, 2?
Yep. 3? Maybe?
I was at 15. You did
3 breakthrough.
Yeah, 13. Yeah, I think I'm just going to hit you. It is
7?
7.
It is now 7.
It is now 7.
What was it before? It is now 7.
Now 7.
Okay. Surprises?
No. It's good.
Surprise, I will recover. Validus.
That is so. That is so.
That was your initiative. Oh, that's not good.
Was that my initiative?
I think so.
I guess it was.
You attack Validus out of the gate.
That is not good. I thought that was your initiative for some reason. I guess I did. Yep.
I will recruit 6. I will boost mana.
With you.
Mono's boost power is when Mono comes into play whenever a character an opponent controls recovers during the combat phase this turn. It can't ready this. It's not even useful. It can't ready this turn.
Probably not going to be super consequential.
And I will recruit Ra's al Ghul.
Oh.
Leland McCulley, whose power is you may discard a future foe's character card rather than play Ra's al Ghul's recruit cost. Also, return Ra's al Ghul to owner's hand unless an opponent discards a card. Target character loses and cannot have reinforcement this turn. Use this power only during the combat phase.
On the plus side, he doesn't worry me.
You have a lot of cards.
I do. I've been laser watching. It's been great.
What does Laser Watch do?
When I recruited, I may exhaust a location I control, and I've been exhausting this to draw a card. And I've also been. I did one search, which was also a discard, but it lets me have a net gain.
That's a frick ton of cards. I guess the Laser Watches are free.
Yeah. So it's basically it's I basically have 2 more than I would normally have. I think because I've drawn 2. It's pay a resource point to draw. Yeah, it does. How many cards do you have?
2.
I have not put down a resource yet, so let's hypothetically.
I mean, my KO pile is much bigger than yours. It looks like a ridiculous sum of cards in your hand.
So you did discard a card to play a plot twist, so you'd be down 1. You said there's 2 cards in your hand. So you discard a card and be down 1. I drew 2 from Laser Watch. Yeah, I got 3.
Well, that's not that unheard of.
It's not preposterous.
It looks like usually you don't end up with 8 cards in your hand.
That's true. That's true. I wonder if there was I feel like there wasn't a turn where I drew twice. I did discard my character when I played that.
Especially if you have 6 cards on your playfield.
Yeah,
admittedly, two of them
were free. Yeah. So we both have 4 cards in the playfield. Is there any turn where you played multiple characters? This turn you did play 2 characters.
I have 5 things in my card pile, so
yeah. I wonder if I drew 1 extra time. Maybe not. I mean,
It looks like it
can't
adds up,
unfuck it.
You have a lot of stuff in your hand.
Yep, that is true. I will
That's
have
all
fewer
I'm saying.
momentarily.
I'm not saying it's wrong.
That is fair. So I got to think about this a little bit. You don't currently have flight, but you can probably get it. You almost always seem to have flight. So running under that assumption, you're going to get. Well, there's no way I'm not dead this turn. That much is obvious. So the question is, can I somehow get through your onslaught? That is the question.
You haven't recruited anything yet.
I have not. I have a choice.
I don't think it's a... I think it's a very close game, honestly.
I agree, actually. I am pretty sure it's extremely close, because you're going to get to do a gazillion points of damage. However, you do not have a ton of visible characters. And that may serve me well. And again, I've got that weird choice. So I think the first thing that happens is I am going to discard a character card to fire his power, which is to discard a character or location card to give all my OMAC robots +1/+1 for the turn. That is thing one. First decision made. I'm trying to figure out if I should get another laser watch. And it's very tempting because they're great. Arguably, the best way for me to do that is to repeat my same process. You've almost certainly got reinforcement strip beyond Russell. It's so likely. It'd be so weird if you didn't have it. That's also such an important... It's so important. It's really important. I think I have to assume you do. So if we assume you do, what does that mean? Do I search for a laser watch? It probably means I search for a laser watch. Oh, that's so complicated. We'll save it and see what happens. Okay. I'm going to recruit Amanda Waller with her boost.
Huh. Amanda Waller. Interesting.
Amanda Waller has she's an 8/7 concealed only character with range. Put her here. She has a boost of X. When Amanda Waller comes into play, gain 2 resource points for each resource point you paid for X. Spend these resource points only to recruit checkmate character cards.
Yeah, I'm in trouble.
So I got another one of these guys. I could still opt to stun him to bring out another laser watch. Actually might be the right choice. I'm going to do it. So I stun him to get an additional resource point to pay for him. So I have 1 left over, which I do with this. Search for laser watch. And then recruit the laser watch onto...
So you just activate that to search? What's the search cost?
The search is 1 resource point. So I spend a resource point to activate this to search.
Okay.
And I have that resource point because I spent 1 less.
I get it.
So I am at 0, just to be clear. So I'm dead now.
Yeah.
But I have another laser watch. Laser watch is concealed optional, so I could put it on Amanda Waller, but I'm not going to do that. As a reminder, laser watch is +2 +0, plus range, I think. That's not particularly consequential. But because I also need to exhaust a location to draw a card, which I will do when I equip it.
You need to do it.
Must do it. Gotta have that card. Gotta make you feel like I have so many cards. So I am at 0 life, and I will form with this guy in my back.
7. 37, 45.
I'm enjoying this deck.
That's so much life. But I have an advantage of 17.
And initiative.
So all I have to do is take off. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea.
Great. It's so great. This deck has brought me immense joy. I have no idea. I have not read any of this math. I'm just like, make them bigger. As a reminder,
+1/+1.
Only my OMAC robots, not her.
It's a big deal too.
But it is consequential.
So what I do is...
So yes, my lowest attack is him with 8.
I may have to cut stuff close.
Get him, OMAC robots. Oh, I'm so excited. This deck isn't failing miserably. I've dodged first deck syndrome. That happens 1 in 10 times at best.
We got a lot of damage out here too.
I know you do.
I'm going to play Busted Knee.
Yeah, here we go.
On this 4-drop.
This guy here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Target character gets a -2 defense while defending this turn. Whenever that character recovers this turn, its controller loses 2 endurance.
I'm with you.
I'm just going to hit him with mana.
I'm just going to move this character aside. He is visible, but stunned.
Sure.
Yup. That's a legit option. So, sorry, -2 defense?
Yeah.
And when he's recovered, I take an additional 2 damage.
Yeah.
And you would be counter-stunned. I'm going to flip a secret checkmate HQ, which I can only flip when I have a defender. All of my characters get +2 attack. This goes away at the end of the, or at the start of the combat phase.
That's not good either.
I'm not going to get an extra stun out of it, but dudes be bigger. I'm not going to reinforce currently.
It's only 1 point of breakthrough, I think.
I am -2 defense, so it's...
so you're also plus...
I'm +1, so it's I have a defense of 5. Yeah, I have it.
No.
Because I would be 8. Nothing boosts my defense except my 1 discard, so my defense would be 8.
Yeah.
Your attack is 8.
Yeah. You're -2 defense.
Oh, haha! You have been the one who mathed correctly. So I take 2 breakthrough.
2.
And I take. Right. So
let's see.
So I take 4 initially. I'm going to do that first. So I'm at -4. Then how do I recover?
You have complete control over who gets stunned henceforth, so it probably behooves me to recover him.
So I'll take an additional 4, and then for the plot twist, an additional 2. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So that's 6 ones. So I'm at -10.
I think you still got me. That's sad.
I might.
It's really close, though.
Yeah. I have not run all the math, so I do have to be a little bit careful.
So much attack.
It's so these guys are cool. I'm glad I built this deck. So if I do it with him, it's cutting it so close. It's cutting it really close, but that's still probably the best outcome. So his attack is exactly 10. I will attack Validus for exactly 10.
Of course. Sufficient.
I am stunned.
5.
For 3. -13.
Yeah, I think you got me handy. What's left?
So the remaining balance, assuming Russell is going to chill, and that you don't have recovery, is... So of course it's everyone if I've got the clean shot. There's no reason not to do it. So the math total is... she is... I'll do this... Well, this is 6, so we can start there. So that's 6 plus 8 is 14. She does not get the 1/1 from the discard, though, like the robots do.
Yeah, you got me. You got me hands down.
And then we've got 13. That's 29. And 11 is 40.
That's ridiculous.
OMAC robots did a thing! I'm so happy! I'm sorry. I hope that wasn't a completely dismal game. You're getting to see a new deck.
It was all right. This deck has had a run of bad playing
That sucks.
for about 4 years. Like, it was a really scary deck, and then it stopped, and then it never started again.
I am sorry for that. I had no idea the whole game. I didn't know if I was in a good position. I didn't know what the hell was going on.
That's so much attack.
So much attack. They are a deck that is designed to lose and then make you lose more. So fun tidbit for novelty's sake, which is I built an OMAC robot deck way back in the day, and even played it.
If I saved the flight, it would have been my game.
That is quite possible. You might have got me a turn earlier. That's why.
I played the flight to make up for some bad draws, and it turned out not to be the right case, even though it was really cool play.
It was terrifying. It was a huge swing early on. Yeah, if you've been, that was actually a very close game.
I was also going to, you fired the location when I made you do that, but I was also going to stun both your characters and not be stunned.
Oh, totally. Yeah, totally. No, I recognize that was also going to be an unfortunate consequence. So I built the deck originally, and I had a very odd reason for it. So this was very early in our Versus playing, and I built the OMAC Robot deck because I didn't have my old Sentinel cards, and I wanted to build an Army Robot deck. Like, I wanted to try and rekindle the fun of that experience. And these guys actually play pretty different than the Sentinels. They're actually more technical and have the equipment and locations and stuff. But I really wanted to craft that feeling and have that fun. And I remember it never quite working, but that was also very early on in our playing, so I had always wanted to revisit them. And part of the reason I hadn't before is I was afraid I would have to cannibalize my primary checkmate deck, which I do enjoy playing. So I did a very thorough evaluation. I might have tweaked 1 or 2 cards in the other checkmate deck, but it was very minimal, and built this with my, improved knowledge of the game and understanding. There is probably, I would say, maybe a 6-card overlap. Like 10% of the deck, roughly, overlap with the other checkmate deck, which was kind of unavoidable. But I was really happy I found this deck and put it together. And I think it's really interesting. It was exhausting to play because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And there's like a lot of, oh boy, I search and then I search and draw a card and search and draw a card. And laser watch. Army of robots with watches coming for you.
Well, what do you think? I can do another one.
Oh goodness, I had not foreseen this as a possibility.
We're at a weird time.
It is kind of that weird gray area.
Super early if we quit. If we play, we would probably go a little bit later than we usually do.
I am not opposed. I'm doing okay.
All right, let's keep going. Is the last set an A? Is the last deck an A?
I think did we not get to the last game?
No. We only played 2. We've been chatting a lot.
You're right.
We've been doing a lot of chatting.
It shouldn't be this deck, though. I'm going to pick a different deck. But it is A. That deck with Sentinels. I don't want to do that.
Oh, okay.
So I will select an A deck.
I feel like this deck in particular hasn't seen play in a very long time. Good call on that. I mean, like, you trounced a double A, which is a double A that's been having some problems. Although it's kind of funny, like, that deck in particular has some really strong counters to your deck, and I drew them too late for it to matter.
I felt it. I was afraid the whole time.
Like, I have a lot of, like, I'm attacking down the chain, so you don't ready ever. I drew that on, like, turn 5, and it didn't matter.
No, I think it is a case to keep testing them in double A.
Yeah.
It's not a case to definitively say that they're going to do that every time. I actually think that was a decent to good draw. And yours
scary. I was scared.
Yeah, it was interesting. And it was a very close game. If you'd been able to get me for 2 more damage, I'll play this deck. If you got me for 2 more damage 1 turn prior, it would have been your game. You got me down to 2. And
Chris
then they
says
had
someone should be at -12. That might have been you. I think I was at negative quite a bit more than that.
That is possible.
Sorry, Chris, we didn't notice when you said that.
Apologies. My maths is not sufficient, but I will adjust now for posterity.
There you go.
But yeah, that was I was glad that they worked though. It was a good showing for a first deck, and they were fun.
Still, watch is stupid.
I just like the fiction of like, here's a bunch of robots coming at you with watches. Like a man in Day the Earth stood still, the thing lands and. Because that's the sound it makes.
Do you have the time to listen to me, Ryan?
No. No. That is my conclusion. I'm sticking to it. I get the dibs on the dice.
I got a little more breakthroughs, what Chris is saying. Oh no, that's gonna end poorly. Because I need to throw these away.
You were at 8 when I did my last attack, right? Is that correct?
I was at 13.
Okay. So if you were at 13 and I dealt 40, that's
but
negative
one of your
27.
attackers was like 13. So.
Yeah. I mean, I did have to make up a difference. So it wasn't... They're definitely... they might be like a shadow pact. I'm gonna pick something this time. I'm gonna go inner.
Good idea.
I did win 5-3. I will go... let's go...
Let's go bonus game.
Where the hell do these guys like to go? I haven't actually played this deck in a little while. We'll go evens. Maybe that's the right choice. No, we'll go odds. There we go. Odds it is. I'm sold. But I don't have a 1-drop because that's how I roll.
Oh yeah? Well, maybe I do and I'm not recruiting it.
That is
You never know with me. I'm kind of crazy like that.
Idea. So nutty. You're a rebel from beginning to end, sir. Now it is you who have the initiative.
Yeah, and I'm going to recruit Barbara Gordon,
Barbara!
whose power is, as an additional recruit, cost to recruit Barbara Gordon, reveal another Gotham Knights character card from your hand. I will reveal Catwoman. Pay 1 resource point to draw a card. Uses power only once turn. Or activate draw a card. Uses power only during the recovery phase.
Alright. What do we say? Massacre the English language? What was the phrasing?
Mangle.
Mangle. Mangle's so good.
Ian and Kyle mangle the English language. Yeah, in case you missed that, Chris, one of the things we said early in the stream is I was reviewing some of the videos we recorded and haven't uploaded from the last few weeks of play because I've been crunching, and that was a phrase Kyle used, and I think it will probably be the official name for our stream going forward because it's the best name for our stream, and that is Ian and Kyle mangle the English language, because I can think of nothing more appropriate or true universally.
Very true. I have Blade. As an additional cost to recruit Blade, reveal a Marvel Knights character card from your hand. I'll reveal Electra. He gets +1/+1 while equipped. I'm not going to equip him, however, at this time.
Yeah. I don't think you have single character KO in that deck. I'm glad. Could be wrong.
It'll be a tall order.
I'm a pass.
Yep. Attack.
Why would you hit a crippled lady?
It's Blade. He's a jerk.
You said that with such certainty. Like it should have been obvious.
My brain
Blade, come on.
Like for any given joke, my brain races through several things, and one of them was inappropriate. So I didn't say that one.
It's Blade.
He's a jerk.
Things are getting weird. Why is my draw so weird? Alright. That makes that your initiative. Dang
Boy,
it.
my
I
initiative.
didn't do anything on my initiative.
I like that outcome. I am going to recruit Electra. Surprise, it's Electra. As an additional cost to recruit Electra, reveal another Electra from your hand.
This is big damn Electra. Good. It's not KO.
Or is it?
KO.
She's got a boost on that pain. She's this big.
Yeah, she's pretty big. I have... You'll never guess this. I have Roy Harper.
What?
Arsenal. I can exhaust a Teen Titans character I control, and Roy Harper gets +2 attack this turn. I can also activate and KO a resource I control to stun target character with attack less than Roy Harper's attack. Here's some stuff I'm going to do. I'm going to play the Brave and the Bold. I'm going to play the Brave and the Bold.
I think you're going to mangle the English
Which I'm going to mangle the English language, which I may play only if I control the Gotham Knights character card and a Teen Titans character card. Draw a card. Ongoing. Characters control. Team up. Long form.
Draw a card.
Also
Solid.
going to play the Brave and the Bold. I'm going to draw a card.
Right. I'm going to attack Roy Harper.
Okay. I really don't think this is going to work, but I'm going to try it anyway.
Oh, Lord.
So I'm going to reinforce Roy Harper.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to reveal that I have the Liberty Island base.
I'm ready.
Activate target defender with reinforcement gets +1 defenses attack. If it's a Teen Titans defender, it gets +3 instead. So I'm going to give him +3 defense.
Tied.
And I'm going to power him up.
Well, I, too, will power up.
Son of a gun.
So-
Worth a shot.
Well, it gets rid of the card. I will add, I did reveal that Electra when I recruited Electra.
That's true. but I'm too tired to remember that.
That's fair. What is your attack? I think you get me back.
4?
That does get me back. Well, you powered up.
5?
Yeah. My defense is only 4. She's got 3 defense, so that will work.
I don't lose Barbara Gordon. That's sad. I will, yeah. Yep.
Yarp. So I'm going to do 3. 3 is the damage that I take.
Me too.
Yeah, it's good teamwork. Good teamwork.
And Blade's gonna punch Cripple Lady.
That's what he does. I mean, Blade. Come on.
So maybe I do keep Barbara. Let's see what's gonna happen next. What is Roy Harper
Serve
like?
my drawing.
He's alright. I'll keep Roy Harper, I guess. I guess. I'm having trouble getting this deck going here. As I always do. At least I'll have initiative. That will help.
That is true. Excuse me. I'm always amused when I deliberately wait to recruit until I see what you recruit. Like to even put a resource down, rather.
I'm going to recruit Catwoman. Whenever Catwoman causes breakthrough to an opponent, I draw a card and that opponent discards a card from his hand. Let me see. I'm going to put a bat plane on Roy Harper. Gotham Knights characters I control have flight. KO bat plane. Return target character you control to owner's hand. You don't have something good, or else you have a choice. You're making faces like you don't have something good.
I'm not totally happy with it, but it's not terrible. I'm going to recruit Lady Punisher. Lady Punisher has Reservist. She also has, at the start of the recovery phase, Yumakeo target stunned character.
Yumakeo.
Yumakeo. I do need to think for a moment about my formation. characters, so I suppose I can take it. I will form like this. Sorry, what is Batplane doing? It gives Roy Harper flight or your whole team flight?
Team flight, and I KO it to return a character to my hand.
Team flight. That is unfortunate. Do I have to do that? You can go for either one.
I will still go for Blade. Did I read Catwoman? I may not have.
I think you did, but go ahead and read her again.
Whenever Catwoman causes breakthrough to an opponent, you draw a card, and that opponent discards a card from his hand.
I'm going to reinforce. I'll take 2. Not quite big enough to get lovable Roy Harper.
Flight either.
Sorry, I actually meant Catwoman, but was looking at Roy Harper. I am big enough to get Roy Harper, I'm just not flighty enough. So I will pass.
I think I got to pass too. What a stupid turn. That turn was stupid. That was my initiative.
It was. Well, I'm gonna recruit Daredevil. I still have to leave that back. That sucks. Daredevil has pay 3 endurance. Daredevil gets +2 attack. Pardon me. Has +2 attack and can attack as though he had flight this turn. Move Daredevil to your hidden area. Use this power only once per turn. So if I fire that, I must move him to my hidden area. But I can do it at any time.
How do I deal with this turn? Man, the things in my hand are not ideal.
Fair assessment.
I think I recruit Bart Allen Kid Flash and Panther. Bart Allen Kid Flash's power is exhaust a Teen Titans character you control. Ready Bart Allen. Use his power only once a turn. Also, activate. Target Teen Titans character has reinforcement this turn. Panther has, while Panther is attacking, she gets +2 attack.
I'm gonna attack Catwoman.
I'm sorry, I formed dumb because
You may totally reconsider.
Doesn't have range.
That's entirely fair.
Sorry
And he
about
can
that.
reinforce from anywhere. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
I accept.
Um.
I'm gonna attack Catwoman.
Yeah.
Actually, I could now attack Bart Allen. That was not an option before.
Sure.
So I will reconsider,
Okay.
if you don't mind.
No, please.
Um,
Please.
Catwoman's power is very good. Getting rid of Bart Allen would allow me to deal more damage.
Getting rid of. Let's not get too big for our
Well,
britches here, sir.
Yes. Not having him face up, to be more precise. Remind me again how the reinforcement thing, the stat bonus thing works.
Activate. Target defender with reinforcement gets +1 defense this attack. If it's a Teen Titans defender, it gets +3 defense this attack instead.
Interesting. So Bart Allen can do that for anyone. That is actually a real problem. How uncouth. Yeah. That's annoying. I'm gonna attack Bart Allen. 4/9.
Yep. Bard Allen will reinforce himself. And I will take 4. This is your KO deck.
I'm going to flip Hell's Kitchen, in case there were any doubt. Flip Hell's Kitchen and leave you control of Marvel Knight's character. Whenever a character an opponent controls is put into the KO pile during the combat phase, that opponent discards a card of their choice. Now going to attempt to KO Bard Allen by playing Quick Kill. As an additional cost to play it, discard a Marvel Knight's character card unless you discard 2 character cards. It's a little weirdly worded, but I will discard a Marvel Knight's character card. KO target stun character with a cost of 4 or less.
I will KO Batplane to return him to my hand.
I thought that you might.
Are you going to interrupt that?
I
technically could.
I guess I technically could. It's pretty costly if I do it again. But I also don't want you to have Bard Allen. There you
4
go.
cost is in my hand. Yeah, I did that to avoid the discard, right?
Yep, totally fair. Yep, we'll let it go. Maybe I'm just bluffing and I don't have anything. Maybe that.
I'm going to play Combat Reflexes. Move target character you control to your front or support row. That character gets +3 attack while attacking this turn. I'll attack Lady Punisher with Bantha. For
That's
6.
a good play. That is a good play. I suspected you might be able to do something along those lines. Yeah. I guess do I reinforce? Not really useful otherwise. We'll reinforce. Save myself a point of damage. I will take 4. You will take 1. That's annoying. I think I have to pass. How does Heartbreak boost his attack?
Exhaust a Teen Titans character and gets +2 attack.
It's 2 attack. It's unlikely, but not certain that you could get Daredevil. You would need to get 6 attack. That's a tall order. That is a tall order.
I can team attack him.
That's true. That's less tall of an order. But that comes at a cost to you as well. Attack. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pass.
Not sure this is the right time for this either. Airborne Assault.
Oh my.
Characters I control have flight. Characters I control get +1 attack while attacking this turn. I'm going to attack Blade with Catwoman.
That's a good play. That's a good play. That will work.
Draw a card.
Discard a card. Get rid of
The attack
that.
is a 7.
That's a good play. I don't think so. 4. Ouch. I guess I'm making you do a lot of stuff.
I think my draw is making me do a lot of stuff.
Sure.
This was your initiative? It was. Okay. I feel a little better about that.
No, that is definitely pretty solid. Yeah. Yep.
Still passing?
Yep.
I will also pass then.
Goodbye.
Why you gotta give me choices?
Yeah, I do hear that.
I think I'm going to recruit Dick Grayson. I'm playing this on curve. That it's so wrong.
Yeah.
Going to recruit Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson's power is whenever Dick Grayson stuns a character, draw a card. And I may discard a Gotham Knights card from my hand, and target defender has reinforcement this attack. It's interesting. I can target your defenders with that.
I'm all for
I
that.
don't know why I would. There's some power. Did I just create a new deck? Interesting. Interesting.
Reinforce your opponent.
Yeah. I have to figure out where that other card is. Something, something.
Right. Interesting. This card is very expensive. It's an additional cost to play weapon of choice. Discard 2 cards. Search your deck for 2 character cards with different names, each with cost equal to the number of resources you control. Reveal them. Turn opponent chooses one. Shuffle that one back into your deck, and the other goes into your hand.
2 different 6 costs.
I think this deck has 2.
I hope it does. You're in a lot of trouble if it doesn't. I will let you unplay it,
Yeah,
certainly.
It'd be pretty high. It does. So then the question is, what do I want? Dick Grayson gets me on
Well, you don't get to choose.
Sun.
Right?
No, you'll get to pick, but yes, I'm contemplating my options.
You have more than 2?
Not sure. Maybe not. Maybe I just have 2. Looks a lot like 2.
What a weird card. I don't think you've ever played that before.
So
So you discard 2 cards,
And then I get 1.
and you get 1, and I pick from among
Yep.
these 2. Alright, so we have concealed character with a lot of attack and no defense. Characters can attack hidden characters this turn or activate and exhaust. Boy, I'd be a jerk if I made you take the hidden character.
Makes it the right choice.
A lot of attack.
It is a lot of attack. It is a lot of attack. are you be?
Gifts Ungiven. Is that the name of a magic card with a similar effect, Chris? I am not enunciating because it's late. Did you hear me? Chris is sticking with us like
he is.
He must be really into that printer.
Absolutely. We're probably helping him stay awake for it, truth be told. I am going to recruit that 6 cost. You already know what it is, but I'll read it for the stream. Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow. I can pay an endurance, and characters I control can attack any characters this turn. Also, she's got a boost, which I'm not spending because I'm bringing her into play. I'm going to put both my characters in the back row. You don't have flight at the moment. That's still probably useful. What are your likely behaviors? Well, I got a lot of life. Maybe I do form like that and make you go through Daredevil. He soaks a lot of damage. We'll do that. One card. My draw is a little strange this time. We'll see if I can pull this together or not.
I will attack Daredevil with Dick Grayson.
A rational choice. And when he is stunned, you get a draw card. Is that correct?
Yep.
I'm going to not reinforce. I will take 7.
Okay.
I'm going to attack, excuse me, Panther for 7.
I'm going to exhaust Catwoman and Panther to boost Roy Harper's attack by 2 for the turn. Then I'm going to exhaust Roy Harper and KO Airborne Assault to stun target character with attack less than Roy Harper's attack.
Oh, and he is 4 naturally. That is novel. Ouch.
I really hope that works.
I discarded my other my power up.
Well, doing it while you're attacking is risky. I should have done it beforehand.
It has to be an attacker, doesn't it? Or it's anyone.
Nope, any character.
Whoa, that's crazy. I guess you got to exhaust a ton of stuff. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to hit Panther for 6.
I will discard Commissioner Gordon reinforcement.
I'm going to make you discard another one. Make Gallon, of course.
This time I will discard. I think it's got to be Catwoman.
Yup. Yup.
Is that right? No. I can discard. I discard Panther.
Alrighty. I will lose and Lady Punisher. You were cool. You're pretty cool.
Life totals are way too high for turn 6.
It is
7
strange.
Or the 7, I guess. This other thing too. I need all of them, Kyle.
I hear you. My play is funny, but also a little sad. It is my initiative. I'm going to recruit Punisher. 5 cost. He's got a boost too. This is the funny part. So first of all, he gets +1/+1 while equipped. He's got range. Boost 2. What the hell? I'll pay it. When Punisher comes into play, I may KO 2 equipment I control. If I do, stuff happens. And I will form like this. still have one card in my hand. Oh, jeez.
Boy, that's not very good. Leading up to that, but probably not even.
Did he reinforce? So he can reinforce himself, or is he other characters?
I think it's anybody.
So at all times, any of your characters can be +3 defense while defending.
Correct.
Once a turn. I sure wish that was not a true thing. That is obnoxious.
It's so risky. No, it's gotta be that. It's gotta be that.
Boy. This is an intense match, actually. You have a slight life advantage. But unfortunately, you were able to strike with Roy Harper, and it's not going to cost you because I didn't have an on-curve character to play this turn. That makes me sad. I still have the extra resource, so that may yet be useful, but it is a sad scenario.
Punisher's just the boost power?
Yeah, he's just stats.
It's not even very good stats.
Nope. Well, for a 5-drop. I mean, he's only a 5-drop. He's average. He gets +1/+1 if I can equip him. My whole team is... So these two are stats. I can give him +2 attack, and he can attack as though he had flight, but it moves him hidden. And then I can allow her to attack hidden, or I can pay endurance to allow my team to attack hidden characters.
God, is that... I got but
Nah.
I'm speaking in tongues.
It's true.
And choosing to play super risky, I think.
Oh, God.
God, really?
Makes me nervous.
It makes it you nervous?
Makes you nervous.
So,
Makes you nervous.
I will recruit the GCPD officers. I will recruit Commissioner Gordon. And I will recruit Tim Drake.
What?
GCPD officers, while exhausted, have reinforcement. Commissioner Gordon says Gotham Knights characters I control get +1/+1, who are Army, which is only the GCP officers. And I may pay 3 endurance to KO target equipment and opponent controls. And Tim Drake says if a team attacker I control would become stunned, I may stun another team attacker you control instead. He also has a boost that prevents team attackers from being stunned this turn. And I think that I need to exhaust everybody and try to stun Daredevil again.
Daredevil. Interesting. What is your attack?
12.
That is 1 higher than I can immediately make myself. That is sad. Man, Roy Harper. Jeez, killing it. I don't think I can stop that, and that is a sad, sad, sad scenario. You can do that any time. Not even your attack step gated. Oh, that's so costly. So costly. Sure wish that wasn't the thing you had done.
That's probably why I did it.
Probably so. Oh, God, that's bad. Was that the risky play? I'm trying to think what the sure thing was. How do I make anything of this? Oh, my God, that's so painful. I'm going to team attack Goliath over there for 15.
Discard Catwoman to reinforce him.
Sure.
And I will give him +3 defense. And I will give him +3 defense.
Whoa, the ham is real.
That was the risky play.
Gotcha. I do have my one card, which is Headshot. I lucked out. Maybe. Play Headshot only during your first attack this turn. Target Marvel Knight's attacker, and I will select Punisher. Gets plus X attack this attack, where X is his cost. +5.
I will attempt to deal the damage to Punisher.
It'll work. You still get to draw for it, right?
Yep. I bet you get to clobber me pretty good for free.
Yeah. Still, that was some stuff.
And I'm down a lot of resources. Like a lot.
I know it. 17 life, though.
But I had this attack after this attack.
I think the right choice is to try and KO Dick Grayson.
Interesting.
I will flip a card. It says characters I control have activate to KO, and I will activate and try to KO Dick Grayson.
I think, give me a second, I think I drew 2 cards, and I should not have. I should have drawn 1 card.
That is true.
And I think, adjusted the order of them. I'm going to let you choose which of these 2 cards goes back on top of my deck.
I hope it's not consequential, but we'll select that one. Will go back on top of the deck.
I acted like I was drawing, even though I wasn't drawing.
No.
So you're exhausting to KO,
Dick Grayson.
but I would discard
You discard 1 card of your choice.
I don't think I can do anything to stop that. So he will be KO'd, and then I discard something.
Yeah, I hear you.
You got good stuff this time. I'm afraid. Warp.
You stunned him straight up. Oh, and he got stunned. Did I take my 5 for him being stunned? Is that right?
I wasn't counting on your side of the table, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. If it comes down to 5, maybe I'll feel bad or not. I don't know. I'm gonna act like I did, but time will tell.
I didn't take my damage for Dick Grayson, so there you go. Oh yeah, I did.
I think
You didn't. I was expecting to be lower because you didn't pursue with what's her face.
Daredevil's just a better choice.
God, why would you do this?
Daredevil's a better choice. And you empathize. It is your initiative.
Well, I'm going to recruit Bart Allen.
Mm-hmm. He's a good character.
And I'm going to recruit a Batplane on Commissioner Gordon. And I'm going to play Resource 2 before either of those.
I suppose I don't really need to play a resource. I have 9 million, but I'm going to stack them slightly to make some room. Actually, maybe I don't. That's very strange. I'm not going to put down a resource. Ha. No, I will. Never mind. Are you formed? Oh, you're contemplating. Sorry. Bart Allen, or rather, this guy lets you redirect Tim Drake.
Yeah.
Okay. Art thou form?
Yep.
Me too.
Really?
So sad. 2 turns in a row. nothing. I'm not out of it, but it's pretty bad. I really needed something this turn. 2 turns in a row, my deck did not provide. Still got Daredevil. Watch out now.
I'm sorry. That was way off from what I was expecting to have to deal with this turn. So I'm not prepared.
Yep. I understand.
Everything is different.
Keep hoping to draw characters, but my deck is just not doing it this time. It's kind of strange. The last 4 cards have had no characters.
I exhaust Gordon, Drake, and the GCP, the officer.
Awful. I just need a fucking character.
And stun Daredevil again.
So awful.
And then I team attack you for...
Let me see. Hold on. You stun me.
What a weird play of this deck, by the way.
Yeah, I hear that. God damn it. So frustrating. No characters. Let me down. So fucking bad. I'm gonna play Deposed. Play only if you control a Marvel Knights character. Target hidden character moves that character to his visible or target hidden character's controller moves that character to his visible area. Whenever that character becomes stunned by a character with higher cost this turn, KO it.
I don't know if that's I mean...
It means you cannot team attack me. And then I will get to attack you with Natasha Romanoff.
I see. Okay. I'll attack him with that one. If I hit my meter.
So that'll work. And I have to discard that card, which is fine because it's a useless card. And I will take 6. She weren't getting cards. I really need characters when I attack Morgan.
And he reinforces himself.
Of course.
Take 4.
Also, I'm KO'd because character fire cost.
What a weird game.
This would have been
I'm sorry, are you having a bad time? I'm kind of really struggling to stay in this, too.
I know. It's frustrating me because I've had you on the ropes for 3 turns, and I worked hard for it, and then I can't draw characters. And you're working hard for what you're doing, and I know that, but it's very frustrating when you just don't draw anything you can do. That starts to become costly. So it is my initiative. I'm at 6. So that's cool. I'm going to recruit Luke Cage. He's cool. He lets me draw cards. He would have been great a long time ago. But it only happens when I KO something. Also, he allows me to attack hidden characters, which doesn't matter because I have a better way of attacking hidden characters. No cards in my hand. This is such a weird effing draw for this thing. This is so strange. Sure hope you don't have more big dudes.
Don't. I'm more little dudes.
Oh, God.
And I'm sorry, this is going to be so anticlimactic. Let me do this.
Yeah, you're going to do everyone to stun Natasha.
Yep.
That's funny. What just a sickening last few turns.
Can't lose my team up. I guess I gotta lose this. I'll lose this.
It doesn't really matter. I'm not even close. It's so depressing.
I'm sorry, that was such a weird game.
I was having fun. It was a good, fun match, and then I didn't draw useful characters on 2 pivotal turns. I didn't draw any characters, and that was really brutal.
Weird game. This is, by the way, my team attack deck. I'm sure you can tell.
Yeah.
Did a lot of team attack in that game.
So frustrating. Why did I not draw characters? I just couldn't draw characters. Give me anything. You had a bunch of weenies, and I couldn't draw characters. Like, it was made worse because you were drawing weenies, and I'm like, anything will let me stun something of yours. I just need to stun your characters. That should be the circumstance where anything I draw is helpful, and I couldn't get anything. Just nothing. Well, outside of those last 3 turns, I had a good time tonight. Those last 3 turns were terrible. It was like some of the best and some of the worst tonight. For me, the OMAC game was phenomenal because it was a new deck that I wanted to work so desperately. It didn't suffer from
derp syndrome?
First deck syndrome, and it got to do, like, I think one of the things that I also really value about that is, like, the final turn was pretty scary. I mustered a ton of attack and overcame a huge difference.
40 attack that turn.
And so what's important about that...
But, part of the equation, again, is you're fighting the deck that doesn't KO any of your characters.
Yeah, that's true. That's certainly true. So to be very clear, like, all that matters to me is that I got to do my fun stuff, and whenever you fight that deck, you will now remember that it mustered 40 attack on a turn. Because it sucks when, like, you play a deck and you're hoping it makes an impression and it just totally falls flat. Because even some of your decks that have had, say, 4-year losing streaks, and to be fair, I don't think it's lost every match in 4 years. It's just
it has not really. Well, I think it falls into that territory, which is sort of like. Certainly the goddamn Dark Squad is in this situation. Right. VU, which is the goddamn Dark Squad loses to you every game unless your draw is so abysmal it doesn't feel like a win.
That did happen once.
It happened a lot more than once. It happened at least twice on stream.
Sure. Yeah.
What the frick? Roy, I was playing the Roy Harper deck featuring Roy Harper. Well, apparently,
it was doubly. I mean, I have to give you credit because you played it very smartly. That was always the correct choice. But what was frustrating me so much is I'm like, that would be an incorrect choice if I were getting characters, because then you would have to overcome the fact that, like, you recruiting a bunch of characters to negate my one wouldn't matter because I recruited one more character, like a normal person on their turn. It was a very strange game also because I might actually take out weapon of choice. Like, searching is good, but boy, that's so damned expensive. Boy, that's
a really strange card, yeah. And very restrictive because it's not equal to or less than.
Yeah,
and it's
so
I get
bad.
to choose.
It's really awkward.
Yeah, wow.
And it's funny because it's a rare, so I'm trying to figure out a scenario where that's a useful card. Maybe in an Underworld deck that's great because I get to put cards in my discard pile, but why in God's name did they put a Surge card that was discard 2 cards and you get to pick? And it's only on drop. It seems like it's got only drawbacks because most cards that are Search are like exhaust a character, which is a
That's got to be what it is.
Or discard a card. But
it's not team stamped?
It is not team stamped.
That's
so maybe that's
discard 2 Satanas to go get 2 Satanas. Show 2. They have to be different.
You have to be different names.
Yeah.
But still, maybe that's the case. And shuffle 1 back in your deck, and the other goes in your hand. Boy,
that's an Underworld card.
It's got to be Underworld. Yeah, I might pull that and see if there's either better Search or just a useful card. Because that, on the one hand, I needed to use it. It was such a bad late game draw. Like, it's just not strong. Not a strong draw. But then, it almost, didn't matter, which is frustrating. Like, I'll do this big sacrifice, and I just couldn't get anything else. And it felt like I was down from draw. And I missed Luke Cage, which is a big deal. I played my subpar 4-drop, and I got him on turn 9 or whatever the hell that was. But Luke Cage is the one that says when I KO something of yours, I get to draw a card. And usually that means I only fire it once or twice the whole game. But, boy, I could have used 1 or 2 more cards if it would have gotten me anything. So to miss him was pretty rough as well. I do actually like the mechanic where I used opposed on my own characters. The only reason I was glum about doing it there was because it was just so futile feeling, because it was like I just couldn't draw characters. But I like that trick where it's versatile, and it's just somebody moves a hidden character visible, and if it's done by a character of higher cost, it's KO'd. But I can pick like my high cost characters, and then you can't get through, and I can do clever, fun things like that. And so I
was
like
surprised
it.
you didn't. I guess I could have team attacked and got her. Yeah, I guess she's only 9 defense.
Yep. That is correct. Yeah, because if I move her over, you team attack her.
The game, right?
No, but then I would have had to have lost her or Daredevil. And I got to keep them 1 more turn, which gave me the advantage that you had to stun one of them with Roy Harper again next turn.
I can't believe I KO'd 4 resources. I've never KO'd 4 resources
I can't believe that didn't matter. If nothing else, novel stuff. I don't even remember our first game. That's how we did the first game?
Our first game was the Outsiders.
Oh, well, and that was novel. Part of me wants to share the reason, but like the fact that I could actually pull that off as a surprise play one day, 3 years from now when a circumstance comes up.
Well, I didn't have a ton of tricks, so if you were confident you could do something, the outcome wasn't going to be very different.
You would have needed... I mean, it wasn't... I wouldn't say that it was 100% certain. It depended on the amount of stat buffs you could get defensively.
None, basically.
Then I would have. But I needed... I'll tell you part of the play.
I gather it's a big attack without reinforcement, which is...
Not exactly. That's the fun part. Because if it were just that, I think you would have killed me more. But I have a twist on that. But what I will say is the thing that's so funny is what I needed to do was search for a 1-drop that I can bring into play for free if I have another stunned character. And I couldn't do it because I had to search for that blasted power-up.
We didn't have to. You made a choice.
I did. I think I would have been dead if I didn't. Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe I shouldn't have done it. Well,
I don't remember the situation.
God, it was such a hard thing to see. No, I would not have gotten it because I also needed the damage from stunning Batman. It was really a really weird play. It was a really weird play. Oh man, makes me want to play Morlocks more, but
You play Morlocks more. You should play him against a real deck.
That's true.
You can play him again next week, as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
Nobody saw what was going on. Everybody's eyes were on the horrifying Outsiders.
So horrifying. Why are all of their powers forever and on attack?
We should sign off.
We should. It's late.
We've actually gone quite a bit long.
Well, hopefully your printer has come together, Chris, and you're going to mail us all some amazing figures. Oh, yep.
He left about 15 minutes ago, a little bit more.
Wisely so. All right. Well, thanks for sticking with us, nobody, and you all have
we should be okay next week, yeah? Normal time, I think.
Unless something comes up on your end or mine.
Yeah,
right
sounds
now,
reasonable.
On board.
I think I can pretty safely commit to the Fridays. It's the other weekend stuff that might be a little bit in flux. All right, well, we'll see you next week, everybody.
Yep, take care, everyone.
This has been Ian and Kyle Mangle, the English language.